obviously, Gretchen Whitmer's a problem. I'm talking about even further back than that. NAFTA. Giving China the sweetheart trade deal and letting them into the World Trade Organization. The Iraq War in 2003. On every single one of those issues, Joe Biden was wrong and President Donald J. Trump was right. Even though he was a real estate developer in New York, he knew instinctively what this country needed and how to put the interests of the citizens of this country first. Now, we had a hell of a 4 years with President Donald J. Trump, didn't we? In 4 years, he undid, I believe, 30 years of damage, of terrible leadership. Are we ready to give him 4 more years? Are we ready to hear from the next president of the United States, President Donald J. Trump? Come on out, sir.
Oh, wow, that was quick. I didn't expect that. I'm going to lower that because I don't know if I'm going to get copyrighted. I actually got copy. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was pretty short and sweet.
Yeah.
I'm that politician.
I was expecting him to give his own spiel, honestly. I thought he was going to be out there for at least 30 to 45 talking. So that really wasn't expected. There's Trump. He looks good. Let me ask you this, Sasquatch. What do you think the sheer volume of Secret Service agents? Oh, he's got a female Secret Service agent. Would you look at that? He's got one right over there. Wow.
He has to toe the line, bro. He has to toe the line just like everybody else. He works with what he's doing. Notice another thing. There's not a single person on that stage that's as big as he is.
Yeah, you know what? You got a good point, bro. You got a very good. Well, he's on top. He's walking on top of something.
He is, but the guys up next to him on the same podium as he is. I mean, dude is 6 foot, what, 6'4", 6'3"?
I think he's 6'3". I think he's 6'3". Yeah,
he's a big boy. You need big boys to cover him because he's a big boy. He slams down 5 cheeseburgers a day. What are you expecting?
You know, he's actually a huge fan of McDonald's. He mentions that, like, he is a big fan of eating McDonald's. He even says that he doesn't spend a lot of money on fancy food. He's very content with just eating that kind of food. In fact, I remember when who was it? I think it was Alabama won the national championship, and he invited them over to the White House, and he brought them a shitload of fast food. I mean, like a ton of it. You know, like all kinds. It was like McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Arby's, Carl's Jr., you name it, man. He had a whole giant ass spread for it. What's good, Calvin Coolidge? Hit the panel, bro. I don't want an echo chamber. You know how I do, bro. And there he is. Okay, he's finally up. Is the music still playing? Let's find out. Yeah, it is. All right, cool. We'll have to fill it in with ourselves in the meantime. Yeah, let me see. Wait a minute. Band-Aid off. How is his ear looking? Well, hold on, Calvin, because we don't know if he's wearing a regular Band-Aid. He was wearing the I guess you could say the gauze beforehand. Is he ready to speak?
You know, there's little round things that you put on the ends of your paper holes so they'll stay in your binder.
Yeah. Yeah.
You use a couple of those.
The reinforcers, probably.
Well, thank you very much. This is like a Michigan football game over here. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. I want to thank you, JD, for the introduction. You're going to be a fantastic vice president of the United States. And, you know, I chose him because he's for the worker. He's for the people that work so hard and perhaps weren't treated like they should have been, but they were treated that way 4 years ago, I can tell you that. But we're going to get it back bigger, better, stronger than ever before. Thank you very much. This is some crap. I'm thrilled to be back in the great state of Michigan with thousands and thousands, and I mean lots of thousands up here. This is a hell of an arena. This is a hell of an arena. But you are the hardworking patriots that we love. You know, they have crowds of people outside. You're not even going to believe it. They go blocks and blocks. But let's forget about them, right? Let's forget about them. Let me begin this evening with a very special thanks to Americans nationwide, including all of you here today, for your extraordinary outpouring of love and support in the wake of the horrific last Saturday event. And when you think of it, it was exactly 1 week ago today, almost to the hour, even to the minute. Yeah. Incredible. Incredible. What a day it was. As I said earlier this week, I stand before you only by the grace of Almighty God. That's true. I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here. Maybe JD or somebody else would be here, but I shouldn't be here right now. But something very special happened. Let's face it, something happened. I want to thank Butler Memorial Hospital in Pennsylvania for the incredible job they did and service they gave, and all of the great citizens of Butler, Pennsylvania, and the surrounding area, and everyone else for the job they did and the love that they showed us all. It was incredible, actually. What a time that was. What a time that was. Nobody's seen anything like it. And hopefully they never will again. And they had cameras blazing. I guess it was different in that way too, because we were right in the middle. All those, see, look at all the news back there, and they were all blazing. They were going. No, they covered it fairly. They couldn't believe what they were seeing either. So you did cover it fairly. Let me also thank Congressman Ronnie Jackson from Texas. You know, Congressman Ronnie Jackson, for the care and treatment he gave me as an outstanding doctor, which he is. He's really an amazing guy. Where's Ronnie? Doc Ronnie's here someplace. Oh, thank you, Ronnie. Thank you very much. Great doctor. He was a great admiral, a great doctor. He's a White House doctor for Bush, Obama, and a guy named Trump. And they said, who was the healthiest of the three? He said, not even a question, Trump. And I said, I love that guy. I love that guy. When he said that, that was my doctor. Even if he's a congressman, that was my doctor. But he's been a great congressman. Thank you very much, Ronnie, for everything. We appreciate it. Ronnie Jackson. We continue to pray for the recovery of the two citizens who were wounded in that evil attack, David Dutch and James Copenhaver, two really incredible people. We remain in contact and send our deepest respect to the families. Corey, as you know, Corey Comparator was a brave firefighter who died, funeral yesterday, shielding his wife and daughters from bullets. He shielded them from the bullets of this horrendous person. Corey was a hero, and we will carry his memory in our hearts for all time. Great hero. That's great. And he was a big trumper, and we will never forget him, right? We're all together. We're all together. There's never been anything like what you witnessed the other day with the convention. I don't think there's ever been a convention where there was such unity and love. And even now I'll say just for a second, the fake news even said it that way. I want to be nice, but the fake news reported it correctly. There's never been such unity, and everybody did a great job, and the speeches and everything. It was just an incredible event. And I'll tell you what, Milwaukee was a fantastic place. This was a beautiful arena, and they did a really great job. And Wisconsin is going to vote for us because we spent $250 million And when they go into the voting booth, they're going to say, we love this guy, Trump. He gave us 250 million with jobs, and they're going to vote. Wisconsin's a very important state, as we know. But they really did. Wisconsin did a great job. Milwaukee, they did a great job. And the arena was fantastic. And it was just love. It was like a big, beautiful 4-day love fest. There was no fight. You know, there was no fight, no screams, no shouting. No, get that guy off the platform. And in case there was, we had the Hulkster with us, right? How good was he? How good was the Hulkster? And Kid Rock called, he said, I want to get, you know, Kid Rock is big, and he wanted to get down, and he did an unbelievable job. He was great. But all of them, everybody. We had so many great people there. It was really an amazing thing to see, and it was really something I don't think there's ever been. A lot of people report. I think it's either party. There's never been anything like it. And now we have something coming up where they're going to go for the convention, and they have a couple of problems. Number one, they have no idea who their candidate is, and neither do we. That's a problem. But we'll see. Hopefully they get it worked out. Sort of interesting. This guy goes and he gets the votes, and now they want to take it away. That's democracy. They talk about democracy. Let's take it away from them. But now we go forward as one movement, and really we have a very special group of people, like the people here. You people built this country. It's one movement, and we're more united, determined than ever before. We've never been so determined. Bad things happened last time. We're not going to let them happen this time. Bad things happen. We will never stop working to deliver a magnificent future for our people, and together we will fight, right? And we will win. All right. Thank you. I like this place. You ever walk in to a place and you say, I sort of like this place? Less than 4 months from now, we are going to win Michigan. We are going to take back the White House in a monumental landslide. And with your help, we are going to make America great again. Right? At our convention on just a little while ago in Milwaukee on Thursday, it was my tremendous honor to officially accept the Republican nomination for President of the United States. And I used to say it in 2016, and I meant it 100%, but I mean it even more now because this country has gone wrong. We're a failing nation. We're really a left-at failing nation right now. This will be the most important election in the history of our country. This is going to be the most important election. We cannot let it slip by. We cannot let people cheat. We cannot let this slip by, or we're not going to have a country. Because I do have other things I could be doing. It would be a lot easier. Although I'd rather be with you than sitting on some gorgeous beach watching boring waves coming in. No, I would rather be. Actually, I would. You know that. I think that's one of the reasons we've been so successful together. You know I mean that too. But we're going to make our country more successful than ever before. Yet even as we gather this evening, we will, and take a look, still the Democratic nominee, we're going to find out shortly, maybe, I don't know. Let's do this. Let's do a poll. You know, I love doing polls, right? Like I do a poll. I do lots of polls. Like, do you like Make America Great Again, or do you like America First, or do you like them both? I like them both, right? But let's do a poll on candidates. Ready? So I'll go. We're going to do a poll on a few candidates. The press will like this because they won't have to pay for the poll. You know, you do these crazy polls and they charge you $250. Look, there's Mr. Wall. This guy is the greatest guy. This guy, he must have a lot of money because he's at so many different rallies. And he was at the one that was a tough one, wasn't he? That was something. You were right up in the front. You saw that. That was something. We're going to do a poll, and it's going to be a very nice poll. And right? Who's your favorite candidate? Who would you like? Let's do it. Who would you most like to run against? Because, you know, you could say, who's the best candidate? We're saying, who would you like to? We'll start with Kamala Harris, and then we'll go, to crooked Joe Biden, and then we could possibly discuss a few. So who would you like to most run against if you're us, if we want to win? Ready? Kamala Harris, crooked Joe Biden. All right. I don't think we have to go too much further. Well, you have a terrible governor here who did a terrible job. Whitman. I'd like to run against her, actually. I'd like to run against her. So she's one of the 20 that I mentioned. She's the one that gave her husband full right, title, and interest to everything, but nobody else could do anything but her husband. Her husband was sailing in the middle of your lake, your beautiful lake. He's out there sailing, and everybody else had to be locked up, right? Her husband. No, but things like that are mentioned during a campaign, little things like that. No, she's done a terrible job, but I hope I'd be very happy with her. At this very moment, Democrat Party bosses are frantically trying to overthrow the results of their own party's primaries to dump crooked Joe Biden from the ballot. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. And as you're seeing, the Democrat Party is not the party of democracy. They're really the enemies of democracy. The parties of corrupt insiders like Whitmer, special interests, and the failed political class. That's what they are. Under our leadership, the Republican Party is now the party of the people. We're the party of hardworking Americans of every race, religion, color, and creed. We become a very big party. We become, right, fellas? You know what I'm talking about. I love you guys. We love you guys. No, we become a very big party. We have increased in size. Nobody's ever, honestly, in history, there's never been anything like this movement. And that may be in the history of the world, but let's keep it down to the country for right now, because that's the thing. But there's never been anything like MAGA. When Biden says, we have to stop MAGA, we will stop MAGA. I said, he doesn't know what MAGA stands for. It stands for Make America Great Again. How can you be against that? How can you be against that? And you know, the other side's going around trying to make me sound extreme, like I'm an extremist. I'm not. I'm a person with great common sense. I'm not an extremist at all. Like some on the right, severe right, came up with this Project 25, and I don't even know. I mean, some of them I know who they are, but they're very, very conservative, just like you have. They're sort of the opposite of the radical left, okay? You have the radical left and you have the radical right, and they come up with this, I don't know what the hell it is. It's Project 25. He's involved in Project, and then they read some of the things, and they are extreme. I mean, they're seriously extreme. But I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it. But what they do is misinformation and disinformation, and they keep saying, he's a threat to democracy. I'm saying, what the hell did I do for democracy? Last week, I took a bullet for democracy. What did I do against democracy?
This man is winning.
Crazy.
You were muted, Jay. Your mic is muted on the actual StreamYard.
Hello, Chris.
God
This is a
damn it.
great campaign, man. Chris, are you having a good time? Look at him. He's back there.
A
Cool as
professional show, ladies and gentlemen. That's
You know,
what
so
Professional
far,
show.
they're giving us great credit for the best run campaign.
I said I was rookieing out today.
Isn't that right?
Hey, any lefties
Thank
in our
you,
chat? Do
Susie.
you
Thank
recognize
Chris.
this?
Look how cool he is. Just sits there. Thanks, Ed. Try doing it with another candidate
Kinky.
sometime. That gets tough, right? Anyway, thank you very much. Great job, Chris, Susie, the whole group. We have a great group of people. They love this country. They want to save the country. That's what we're doing. With your vote in this election, the Trump-Vance administration, by the way, I made the right pick. He's so great. They were all good. They were all good, but he's really stepped up. But the Trump-Vance administration will begin rapidly reversing every single Biden-Harris disaster starting on day one. And when you vote for Biden, you're probably voting indirectly for Harris anyway, whether you like it or not. It's common sense. It's all common sense, right? We will end the inflation nightmare that you would have never had. We had no inflation. See, there's another thing. Biden always goes around, I inherited 9% inflation. And even the radical left reporters up there, look at all of them. Whoa, they have a lot. They have a lot of them. They have a lot of them. Look at those cameras, but they'll start turning off as soon as I start mentioning certain things. I'll say, the red light just went off. No, but actually the radical left reporters, of which there are quite a few, I can't believe it. I don't know why they'd have them. But the radical left reporters say, the guy's right. You know, wasn't it until 2 years in that we became destroyed with inflation? Inflation is a country buster. It's a class buster. It busts everything, low income, middle income especially, and they get they're busted. The country gets busted. Look at Germany from centuries ago. Look at every country that's had inflation. And we had, I believe, the greatest inflation in the history of our
Did
country.
he almost mention Weimar Germany?
Because they leave the out. They don't talk about interest
Freudian
rates at
slip,
like
I'm
2,
sure.
10, 11%.
He said he covered it up with centuries ago, but he almost mentioned Weimar Germany. He almost did, bro.
2%.
Dog
We
whistles.
will
You hear
seal
that?
the border and we will stop this terrible invasion that's destroying our country.
Heard that.
We will crush migrant crime. We're going to crush migrant crime. Oh, we have a new form of crime now. It's called migrant crime. The only good thing about these migrants coming in is they make our gang members and criminals look like the nicest people you've ever met. These people are much tougher. They come from all over the world, not just from South America. We're going to return law and order to our streets and restore patriotism to our schools. We gave you already the largest tax cut in the history of our country, larger than the Reagan cuts, but now we will give you an additional tax cut, a number of tax cuts that will make it. We took in more money after the tax cuts than we did prior. We took in billions and billions of dollars more after the tax cuts than we did. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. Everyone knows it. We're going to slash regulations. That's what created all of those jobs and gave them bounce back jobs. You know, they're called bounce back jobs. After COVID, they bounce back. Everybody knows that. When you have something like COVID, which rarely happens, but when you have something like that, they're called bounce back jobs. And we're going to bring down energy prices very rapidly. It was energy that caused the problem and their stupidity. And we're going to bring it down very quickly. Your energy bills will be cut in half, at least cut in half. Some sections, like in New England, I'll be able to cut their energy by 60, 70%. It's absolutely crazy what has happened with energy. We buy the oil from Venezuela. They used to be our enemy. I don't know. We buy from Venezuela. It's not really oil, it's tar. And you know, there's only one refinery in the world that can do it. It's very heavy, horrible stuff. It's garbage. It's tar. You lift it. I said, that's not oil. We want light, sweet, crude. We have the best oil. We have the best everything. We go to Venezuela. You know where they refine it? In Houston, Texas. It's the only plant in the world that can refine that stuff. So we go to Venezuela. We pay them a fortune. We take that dictatorship. We make the dictatorship wealthy. These people don't know what the hell they're doing. They're incompetent. They're grossly incompetent. The biggest threat is because we have incompetent. That's the threat to democracy. It's a threat to our country. We have incompetent people leading our country, grossly incompetent. America's enemies will fear us. The United States will again command the respect that it deserves. Viktor Orban, the very powerful leader of Hungary, said, when asked what happened with the world that's falling to pieces, there are wars all over, he said, bring back Trump, it'll all end.
Why are you talking about Hungary?
No problem in the world. And something
Hungary's
beautiful is going to
insignificant.
happen because we will bring back the American dream, and it'll be bigger, better, and bolder than ever before. Right?
You can't replace Hulk Hogan, man. It ain't happening.
And most importantly, for the people of this great state, you know, years ago, they gave me in Michigan the Man of the Year. That was long before I was a politician. I was a business guy. I did well.
Shout out to Michigan.
I don't know. I heard Man of the Year, Michigan. I said, that's cool. That's good. I'm going to make that trip. I didn't know why they were giving it to me. Nothing, but they were giving it to me for, I guess.
But this is your boy, right?
I
This is your
employed
boy.
A lot of people. I did real well. This is probably 14 years
Hold on,
ago.
Simon.
And I came in and I said, why do you allow foreign countries like Mexico? You know, Mexico's, I think of them as friendly, but they haven't been too friendly lately. How about where they asked Biden to meet, just to meet? They want $2 billion to meet. They wouldn't ask that. See, they wouldn't even ask me that because I'd say, I will put 100% tariffs on everything you send into a country if you even think about asking. They want $2 billion to meet. In other words, we won't meet with you unless you pay us $2 billion. And this is every single year. They want $2 billion. No, it works the opposite of that, the exact opposite. But you know, when you see the things that are happening to our country, and all you have to do is know how to speak. When I watched the way our border was handled, we had the best border, the safest border, the border that saved my life. You know, I was pointing to an immigration border sign when I made this turn. And that thing went that way instead of that way. So I owe immigration my life. It's true.
Nice.
It's true.
Friends, Americans, countrymen, lend me your ear.
Now, think about it. I'm talking thousands and thousands, much more than even this. I mean, we're restricted because you're in this giant arena. That's the one thing about outdoor that's good. You can have unlimited. Thousands and thousands, as far as the eye can see. Nobody's over here or over here because there's nobody there. It starts like this, as far as the eye can see. And I said, look at the great results that we had on immigration. Just look at them. If I didn't say that, and it's because we had like a crane holding this massive sign. I call it the $1 million sign. They're expensive. But that sign was very good. I think I'm going to sleep with it tonight. Let me sleep with it tonight. I said, what was that? What was that? Ooh, then I looked. I said, that's not good. That's not good. So it was immigration, if you think about it, right? Immigration, I would have never been looking to the right, and I had to be. It was the only place that would have saved us. They do these reports in the New York Times and all over the place where they had, you know, the shape, you know.
This is the most original take on immigration.
Shot was no good for me except for the one direct. It came whizzing by, and I hope we have to never go through that again, everybody, because it's so horrible. But most importantly, for the people of your state, this great state, I will rescue the U.S. auto industry from obliteration. They're going to obliterate your auto industry.
That's not happening.
Anybody
that's not happening.
That votes for the head of the United Auto Workers, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's approved all electric cars.
I got you.
And you know, Elon, I love Elon Musk. Do we love him? I love him. And I'm constantly talking about electric cars, but I don't mean I'm totally for them, but whatever the market says, and if it's 10% of the market, 12%, 7%, 20%, whatever it is, it's okay. But you can't have 100% electric cars. And you know, so Elon endorsed me recently, the other day, actually. He's great. Elon Musk. He's a brilliant guy. Every time I call him, he's talking about, I got a new idea for a rocket. You have to hear this. No, it's true. You know, the first time I ever saw this, I'm watching television like 3 years ago, and I see a rocket motor engine. come down landing straight up in no wings, no nothing, and it's landing. I thought I was seeing things. What is that? And it's landing on a barge in the middle of the ocean. And then another one comes down, and another one, I guess four
Salute
of
to
them came
Elon
down, three or
Musk.
four, and they land upright. I said, what the hell was that?
He's
I've
an
never
immigrant,
seen that.
right?
Now, if that were government, you wouldn't see that for another 50 to
Legal.
100 years. But it was Elon. Now, think of that. And I called him, and I've always had a good relationship with him, but I called him and I said, what was that? He said, well, we saved the engines. We saved the engines because it's very expensive to build. So, I mean, it didn't take me long to figure that if you save them, that's good. But who the hell thought you could do that? No wings, no nothing, just like these big, long, massive tubes, and they're landing gently right on the dot. I said, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. And you say, how long would it take government to come up with that one? I don't think they ever heard of it. Perhaps they still haven't heard of it. But, you know, he's a very advanced person, and he's doing other things that are great, and so are other. We have to make life good for our smart people, you know? We have some smart people. We have to make life good for our smart people. And he's as smart as you get.
That's a good drop.
But Elon endorsed me the other day, and I didn't even know this. He didn't even tell me about it. But he gives me $45 million a month. A month.
Oh no! Why did he drop
Not
that,
45
man?
million. Gives me 45 million a month.
Wow.
And I talked to him just a little while ago to say I was coming here. How you doing? And he didn't even mention it. He didn't mention. I mean, other guys, they give you $2 and you got to take them to lunch. You got to wine them, dine them.
That's facts.
No, he's
Especially
a
on
great guy.
YouTube.
He really is. But, you know, he's never mentioned to me, why are you hitting the electric cars? Because he understands I'm not hitting it. I think it's incredible. I've had them. I've driven them. They're incredible. But they're not for everybody. Some people have to drive long distances.
Really?
And they tend to be more expensive. And,
How
you
can
know,
you
they'll
do that? How
probably
can
be
you-
made in China because China has all of that material. Oh, there's the guy that I stood up here. Are you the same guy, the same muscles? Look at that guy. Are you the same guy? Yes? No
That
kidding.
transition was incredible.
Pretty good memory, right? Unlike somebody else that I happen to be running against. You wouldn't. Come on up here. Get up here. I got to get this guy. This guy was Central Casting. Look at him.
Central
Oh,
Casting.
I
There
think
you
you were
go.
standing on a box. That was the only thing I said. Come on up here. Don't hurt yourself. Can you get him up? I like this guy. He's a serious union guy, a United Auto Workers. You look at him get over there.
That's
It's
a big
okay.
audience.
He does not carry guns. He's not. Come on up here. Look at him. Look at his shape he's in.
Balls, man. It's solid brass.
I'm glad to see you. I'm glad to see this guy. I told you we're going to get 85 million of us out there to vote for him. So let's go home from this rally and do our part.
Solid gold.
Here comes the gym trainer.
I'll tell you what, man. Trump is pulling out all the stops for this one.
Look at the arms on him. I may have height, but his arms are definitely more powerful.
Right,
Huh?
there you go.
Look at that guy. Now, last time I was here, I saw him, and he was so great, and he was agreeing with us on auto. We want to bring car manufacturing back, and what the deal with this thing with the all-electric cars in 6 years from now? It's ridiculous. You know, in the Midwest, they open up chargers. They opened up 8 chargers. You read about this. $9 billion they spent for 8 chargers. That's like a gas pump. I guess it would be like the equivalent of a gas pump for electric, right? They spent $9 billion on 8 chargers. This is 8 billion.
How much did they invest in petrol
$9
initially
billion.
as well?
How do you do that?
Mhm.
It would cost at that rate $5 trillion to create enough charges so it could run. It doesn't work. And it doesn't work the trucks either. I was with Swift, big Swift company. How many trucks you own? 29,000, sir. 29,000? That's a lot of trucks. One of the biggest, I guess, like the biggest. I think he's the biggest, right? And he said, they want to destroy our business. They want us to go all electric. I said, so what's wrong with electric? I said, if you take a big, beautiful, like Peterbilt or one of the great manufacturers, how many times would you have to stop from New York to Los Angeles? None, sir. We go right there. We have some left over. Really? That's with diesel. I said, what about if it's electric? We have 6 to 7 stops, about 3 hours each. So immediately he's saying, that's not working too well. He said, but there
Get
are other
electric
problems. He
chargers.
said, the truck is so much heavier that you'd have to rebuild every bridge in the country. That doesn't sound too good, right? And then the third thing, he said that the battery is so much bigger than a tank, a big tank for the diesel or for the gasoline, but the diesel mostly. It's so much bigger that most of our payload would be holding batteries. In other words, we wouldn't have any room for the product. So let's say you hear those 3 minor details. Typically, you would end the conversation, would say, that doesn't work. These people said, we don't care. We want you to go all electric. Can you believe these people? They're crazy.
Yo, Jay, I'm gonna come back later when you're done with the video.
No, they're crazy.
I got some
I got
shit
you, bro.
to say.
And they want boats to
I
do
got
the
you, bro.
same thing. I was with in South Carolina, one of the biggest boat manufacturers of, smaller fishing boats from, let's say, 16 to 35 feet. And he said, we have a problem. They keep pushing
Be right
the
back, guys.
beautiful outboard engines. You have Mercury and Evinrude, I guess they used to have. I don't know if they have it anymore, but those big, beautiful outboard engines they have, they work great. Or just interior engines run by a thing called gasoline. So he said they want us to figure out how to go all electric in a boat, right? All electric. I said, well, what is the problem? He said, we'd have to take the entire lower cabin where we have bedrooms, and we'd have to make that into a battery. But the bigger problem is, sir, it won't float because it's so heavy. It won't float. It won't float. And I always tell the story with like, well, what would you do? Because, my uncle was a great professor at MIT for 41 years, I think. He's the longest serving Dr. John Trump, she knows. He was very smart. We have a very smart family, actually. But he was a great guy. And I always saw I was very interested in this, but the press kills me all the time. They say, he keeps talking about sharks. This, I don't. I tell an analogy. If I'm in a boat, it's all electric, and it starts to sink. I asked the guy, do you get electrocuted sitting over this? And then I say, and I don't think there's anything wrong with this, do you? Because it's an analogy. I say, and if there's a shark about 10 yards away, right where they are, right where all the congressmen are, right over there, look at us. Well, they're sharks. They're sharks. If there's a shark about 10 yards away, do I get electrocuted or do I go with the shark? I said, because I will take electrocution all day long. Despite the environmentalists that say how wonderful sharks are. You ever hear these people? We had 3 killings by a shark this weekend, ripped people apart. And then you have the environmentalists going, well, they didn't mean to do it. They mistook them for a seal. They didn't want to hurt the child. No, I don't want that. Common sense, right? I mean, how about they catch a shark, vicious that they've been after, and they take him to a little deeper water and they put him back in? I wouldn't do that. Would anybody do that here? Let me ask you, this is Michigan. These guys wouldn't do it. But they always get on me. They say, why is he talking about electricity and sharks? What are they? Well, they know exactly. It's sort of a cute little story. Do I take electrocution or do I take death by a shark? And I'll always take electrocution. But isn't it ridiculous? Think of it. Isn't it ridiculous? They want to make a boat that's far too heavy, that can barely float, and they're driving people out of business. They're destroying this country. They're stupidly destroying this country. The Army tanks are the other one. They want to make all electric. We make the best tanks in the world. They want to have them. So that as we go into a country to bomb the hell out of it, we will do it in an environmentally friendly way. Okay? And with an Army tank, again, the battery is very big, very heavy, and doesn't last long. You know what it is? It's an Army tank, and it's like you're pulling a wagon behind the Army tank. You're pulling a wagon like a child pulls a wagon, and it's loaded up with a battery. So we got to get back to common sense. The aircrafts, too. They want to make our jet fighters a biofuel jet fighter that shows 18% less efficiency. That's the difference between winning and losing a fight. And you know what happens? I say, I'm not doing it. And we ended all of that stuff. They brought it back. We will end it on day one. We're not going to be doing that stuff. Okay? In 4 short years under my leadership, I did more for Michigan auto workers and manufacturers than any president in the history of our country. And just as I promised, I withdrew from the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which would have totally destroyed your auto industry. I ended the disaster known as NAFTA. That was the worst trade deal ever made. That was the worst trade deal considered by him. That was so unfair to us with Mexico and Canada, the worst trade deal ever made, and replaced it with what they call the best trade deal ever made, the USMCA, Mexico and Canada. And I know it's good because Mexico and Canada are right now, as we speak, working like hell to try and renegotiate the deal. Don't do it, Biden. Well, he doesn't know what's going on. Don't do it. He's watching us now. He'll say, what's that trade deal they're talking about? Well, sir, they've been negotiating with us for about 2 years. I never heard of that negotiation. Where is Mexico anyway? Where is it? See, now the fake news will take the statement I just say, where is Mexico? And they'll put it on television. Trump didn't know where Mexico is. Oh, they do. They do. It's very dangerous. The biggest threat I have to my administration is sarcasm because they play it against me. When I show that he can't walk off, he can never find the entrances off a stage, like one here, one there, 2 here. He could jump off the front, I guess. And whenever I imitate him, I called my wife. She's great. Our wife, she's great. Our great first lady. I said, and she looked great the other night. She made that entrance. She made that. She made a lot of entrances. She's just something. But she walked in. But I told her the other night, I said, how good was I? How good? This was at a rally a couple of weeks ago. How good was I? Well, you were really good, but not great. Why? Well, it showed that you didn't know how to get off the stage. Well, I was imitating Biden. So what they do is they show the imitation of Biden. They said Trump didn't know how to get off the stage. That's our fake news. So we have to be very careful. So I haven't done it in about 3 weeks. I'll do it again, but maybe not right now. It's too. Darling, you were great. I mean, I get these crowds, 50, 60, 70,000. In New Jersey, we're leading New Jersey by 4 points, by the way. We're leading Michigan by 6 points. Right. And a report just came out. Actually, we're leading everywhere and nationally, and that we have to keep it that way. Got to make sure they don't cheat. Got to make sure they don't cheat. I took on China like no administration in history, bringing hundreds of billions of dollars pouring into our treasury when no other president had gotten 10 cents. You know, China never gave us 10 cents. I got hundreds of billions of dollars from China. And I got along very well with President Xi. He was a great guy. He wrote me a beautiful note the other day when he heard about what happened. And he wrote me a beautiful, most of the leaders do. You know, a lot of them didn't like what I was doing to them, but they also knew it was about time. The jig was up, right? It was about time. But they wrote me, almost all of them wrote me notes. It was nice. No, I have a good relationship with all of them. That's a good thing. You know, a lot of times the press would say he gets along with Kim Jong-un, North Korea. He has a lot of nuclear weapons. I got along with him great. You were never in danger with me as your president. It's a good thing to get along, not a bad thing. I used to tell him, why don't you do something else? All he wants to do is buy nuclear weapons and make them. I said, just relax, chill. You got enough. You got so much nuclear weapons, so much. I said, just relax. Go to let's go to a baseball game. I'll show you what a baseball. We'll go watch the Yankees, or we'll come watch Michigan at its home opener. Okay, how about that? Are you going to have a good team this year, I think, right? Pretty good. I heard good. I heard good, but who the hell knows, right? Guy drops a pass, that's the end of that season. It's a risky business. I proudly imposed a 27.5 tariff on all Chinese auto imports to keep China and Chinese cars, keep them out of America. You don't sell a lot of Chinese cars in here because of what, and if you did, it'd be fewer cars that you made. We're going to bring back the auto industry because of, we're going to bring it back. We're going to have them. If they want to come in and sell us cars, they can, but they have to build plants here and they have to hire our workers, and that's fine. And nobody can say anything about it. Under the radical Democrat policies, the U.S. auto industry is being decimated. You know, we lost 64% of our industry over the years, 64%. We were a giant, and now they're made, a lot of them made in Mexico. Mexico's taken 35% of the auto industry, and we did something very strong. We did something very strong with Mexico. But, you know, when I was building the wall, I said, you have to give us 28,000 soldiers. And they laughed at me. I hate when people laugh at me. I hate it. No, it's so disrespectful. They laughed at me. We won't do that. Why would we do that? I said, because you have to. We're building the wall. People are flowing in through your country. We want 28,000 soldiers to protect us while we're building the wall. They said, no, no, no. And then they said, after I said, look, here's the story. If you don't do it, we're going to charge you a 25% tariff on every car that you send into America. And then it's going to 50% next month. Then it's going to 75%. And then it's going to 100%. And then I'll stop. And the gentleman representing the president's a great guy. He's no longer president, but he's a great guy. He was a great guy, still is. But he said, I'd like to discuss this with the president. I said, 5 minutes. I got to go. I have something much more important to do. And he came back. He said, Mr. President, we would love to give you soldiers to protect your wall, free of charge, of course. That's how I got those great numbers on that beautiful, beautiful graph that we talk about. They gave us everything I wanted. I got everything from Mexico. And then this stupid person, low IQ, he's a low IQ individual. Take his IQ. I guarantee you it's in the low 50s or 60s. And he's negotiating against Putin, President Xi of China, Macron of France, very smart guy. I told him he was going to do something very bad to our country. I said, that's okay, you can do it, but I'm going to put a 100% tariff on all wines and champagnes that come in from France. He said, no, 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 Donald, you cannot do that. I said, I'm doing it. Donald, you cannot do that. That's not fair. He's going to charge our companies, American companies, 25% for doing nothing, for being in France. Big deal, right? Big deal. So I said, okay, that's all right. I'm charging you 100% tariff. I gave it to all my people, Mnuchin, all smart guys. They came back, sir, they won't do it. They won't budge. I said, they'll budge. I called them up. And I talked to the president of France, Emmanuel Macron. He's a nice guy. I said, but he's, he likes France. I like the USA. Does that make sense? I said, Emmanuel, it's so nice to talk to you. I understand you're going to charge our companies 25%, Emmanuel. Yes, 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 Donald. It was approved by whoever the hell approves the parliament. Whatever the hell they have over there, they were going to approve it. It's been fully approved. Yes, I'm so sorry. I said, well, that's okay. You can have it approved, but here's the story. Starting tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, every bottle of wine and every bottle of champagne that's shipped into the United States is going to have a 100% tariff on it. No, 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 you cannot do that. That is not fair. I said, not fair for you to charge our companies 25%. He said, you cannot do it. I said, I'm signing the papers now. I will call you right back. Calls me back. Donald, we would be delighted, Mr. President, to take that tax off. We have decided to take it off. It'll be off by tonight, sir. It'll be off by tonight. And it was off. And it was off. You think Joe Biden does that? He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Their policies are no good. Remember, whether it's Biden or anybody else, they want open borders. They want all the same stuff. So it's like, but he's in particular, he's pretty bad, I tell you. Can you imagine these killers, these are sharp. The press gets angry. They said, is President Xi of China, is he a smart man? I said, no, he's a brilliant man. He controls 1.4 billion people with an iron fist. He makes guys like Biden look like babies. They don't even know whether they're coming or going. Yes, he's the next day headline. Trump calls him brilliant. How dare? No, okay. Let's say he's not a smart man. Okay, whatever makes you happy. No matter what you do, I say he's a brilliant man. They went crazy because I called him brilliant. So I'm just gonna have to say he's okay. He's okay. No, he's very smart. But and you know what else? He's a fierce person. Do you understand that? Some of the people here know that what this means, especially some of the women, right? They know better than the men about fierce. I know the women. They know better than the men. They're more fierce than the men. Oh, her. But no, he's a fierce individual. He's a fierce man. Can you imagine when he meets this guy? He thinks Trump is playing a joke on him. He actually thinks there's some kind of that I'm playing a joke. He doesn't believe what happened. He doesn't believe the last election. He thinks I'm playing a joke on him. But can you imagine President Xi, Putin, all of them? They're all smart, tough. They love their country or they want to do well with their country, whatever it is, all ideology. But we have to have somebody that can protect us. And Orban was right. We have to have somebody that can protect us. Right now, we have really low IQ people in there. And the president in particular, he has about a 70 IQ, and he's going against 210. And it never works out. It never works out. When I'm back in the White House, the way they will sell their product in America is to build it in America. They have to build it in America, and they have to use you people to build it. Thank you very much. It's very simple. We will build American, buy American. We're going to hire American. We're going to get it going. We're going to get the auto industry back. It's ridiculous. I will revoke China's most favored nations trade. You know, they have a most favored nations trade status. They've had it for years. We had it revoked, and then we had that stupid election, that ridiculous election that everybody knows was ridiculous. But I will revoke it. They have a trade where basically they're saying we're just beginning. They're not just beginning. They're teaching our people too much. I will pass the Trump Reciprocal Trade Act, meaning if China charges us a 100 or 200% tariff or tax, we will charge them a 200% tax. Very simple. Called reciprocal. They charge, we charge. It sort of says, I shouldn't say this, because, you know, Franklin Graham, I told the story the other night, Franklin Graham, he's such a wonderful guy. Billy Graham was his father, the greatest. My father used to take me to Yankee Stadium to watch Billy Graham. The place was packed, and he would get up and he would rant and rave, and you left there and you believed that it was God, in fact, that helped me last week. You would believe it if you listened to Billy Graham. And Franklin Graham is right, probably, but he wrote me a beautiful letter. He says, President Trump, I watch your speeches and your rallies all the time. I love your storytelling. There's nobody that can do it like you, but please, you're hurting yourself very badly. Don't use foul language. It made me feel bad, actually, because I don't use much. And if it is foul, it's not really foul. You know, there's really foul, and then there's a little off. Like some people they don't like the word hell. That's a bad word. You know, I mean, that's not good. Or the word bullshit they don't like, so I won't use it. No, it's true. But it's more descriptive. There's just no word to sort of. But he said, so please. So I've been really good. And for the last 4 or 5 times, I've really been good. But, you know, you lose a little something. But reciprocal trade, it basically means you screw us and we'll screw you. It's very simple. And I can't describe it. And I don't think it's foul. But he's probably right. To further protect Michigan auto workers, I will end the Biden-Harris electric vehicle mandate on day one. It's going to end on day one. And I will immediately terminate the Green New scam, and we're going to use that money to build roads and highways and bridges. Under Biden and the radical left Democrats, inflation is wiping out our middle class. Groceries are up 57%. Gasoline is up 69%. Mortgage rates have quadrupled. They've gone up 3, 4, 5 times. And they never include that in their stats, you know. They never include those things. They never include mortgage rates. And you can't get the money anyway, so what really is the number? And since Democrats took over, total household costs have increased by an average of $28,000 per family. Think of that. Under my leadership, we will throw out Bidenomics and we will replace it very simply with Maganomics. Maganomics.
Nice.
You know, I have to just interject. If you would turn off those cameras, because I don't want this. See the screen up there of me? That's very severe, that comb over. That's a severe sucker. What's with that one? It looks okay from the other side. But that is very severe. I apologize. Man, I looked up there. I said, whoa. Look at that.
Bulletproof toupee.
Wow. That's like a work of art. Only look at that one. Don't look. That one looks. To bring down the prices of all goods, we will end the Biden-Harris war on American energy, and we will drill, baby, drill. We're going to start that day one. Under the Trump administration, we had energy independence, and soon we will have energy dominance. We will be more dominant than any country by far, and we were just 4 years ago. We started off at number 4, we got to number 3, and then we had to beat Russia. We beat them. Then we had to beat Saudi Arabia. We beat them, and we were like a rocket ship. And then we had this idiotic result. But we will be, and again, we have more. You know, Anwar in Alaska, it's probably the biggest find anywhere in the world. The size of Saudi Arabia, some people say, who knows what it is, but it's massive. Ronald Reagan tried to get it, couldn't get it. And that was easier in those days environmentally. They stopped it with the environment. You know, the environment is very important to me, and environmental is very important. But, you know, you can't use it to destroy a country. And they stopped it. They stopped it for years based on the environment. I got it approved. It was totally done. This is since Ronald Reagan, who worked so hard to get Anwar, he wanted to be able to drill in Alaska. Think of it as the size of Saudi Arabia, approximately, bigger than Texas, bigger than everything. We would have had something that nobody else even comes close to. And on the first week in office, his Department of the Interior person, who was just put in Department of Interior, she outlawed it. She said, we're not going to use it, stopped all work. They were ready to start drilling. It took them a while to get ready. They're ready to start drilling. The money would have been incredible. The prices were very high. We're the only country that stops drilling when the prices are at an all-time high. And we stopped drilling, but we'll get that back, and I'll get it back very fast. But Anwar, they cut it. Unbelievable. And I will cut taxes even further than we did before. And that includes no tax on tips, right? No tax on tips. All that government does is harass everybody over it anyway. It's like a big harassment operation. They hired 88,000 IRS people to go harass everybody. So if you work in a restaurant, if you drive a cab, or if you do anything having to do with tips, I hope you're going to remember, you know, bartenders, let's see, hospitality workers, a caddy. A barber. Barbers get tips. I don't give mine a big tip because I don't think they do a very good job. If you're a mover, a driver, or anyone else who relies on tips, the money is going to be 100% yours. You better go vote. If that doesn't get you out, if that doesn't get you off your ass to go out and vote for Trump, nothing will. Got to do it. Right? Got to do it.
Yep.
And as we rescue our economy, I will also restore the sacred and sovereign borders of a place called the United States of America, right? United States of America. With Democrats in charge, the greatest invasion in history is taking place right now. This is an invasion of our country. You know, you remember during the time I was trying to get the wall and I was getting all sorts of assurances, and you couldn't get it from Congress. It was incredible. So I did get a lot of money for the military. So I put an extra 10 billion. I put a little fund, an extra 10 billion. I then called. And now we're going to build it larger. We have to close up the areas that weren't built. We have certain areas where we needed to have them open for a little while for getting all of our stuff back. I don't like leaving brand new bulldozers and everything on the other side of the border, right? We want to close it up. But we had certain areas we had to close up. And when they took over, they said, we're not going to close it. I said, these guys actually do. I thought they were kidding. I thought they were not being serious. Who would want an open border? Who would want an open border where people come in from prisons and jails and mental institutions? Either people that don't love our country, stupid people. They're not stupid because anybody that can cheat that well in an election is not stupid. Or maybe a new thing is emerging where they want to get people to vote illegally, and they don't care. They have no shame. And we're watching that. Our chairman is here. The Republican chairman is here, the whole thing. See, the big boss is here in Michigan, so you're going to remember that. But we're working on that, but they do. They're trying to sign people up who just came in, who have no idea where they are, what they're doing. They came in. And in many cases, they're very rough people, but they came in, they're trying to sign them up to vote. This is what they'll do. Because think of it. If they have open borders, if they have men playing in women's sports, if they have a raise in, they're going to raise your taxes by four times. 4 times. Think of it. What you're paying now, you're going to pay 4 times more. With policy like this, nobody can get elected. The only way you can get elected is to cheat. And they are really good at it. That's the only thing they're good at. That's the only thing they focus on. They have no good policies. They don't do anything well. But they're using these people, and they're trying to sign up the people. And we've caught them, and we sue, and we do all the things that you have to do. But they have no shame whatsoever. So that's really one of the big reasons I think they're allowing it, because they're not stupid enough to allow prisoners and people from mental institutions, people from insane asylums, and it drives them crazy. Hannibal Lecter, the late, great Hannibal Lecter, would like to have you for dinner. He wants you for dinner. That's the end of you, by the way. But no, these people are being dumped into our country, and nothing good is going to happen from it. That's why we have to do a big deportation and get them the hell out, okay? We have no choice. Meanwhile, our crime rate is going up while crime statistics all over the world are plunging. We have become a dumping ground for the world, which is laughing at us. They can't believe how stupid we are, how stupid we are. We're destroying our country. They can't believe what they're getting away with, but they're getting away with it at levels that they never thought possible. In Venezuela, crime is down 72%. Caracas, Venezuela, was a very, very dangerous place. And now, because of the great job they've done in removing their criminals into the United States, next year we're going to have our Michigan rally in Caracas, Venezuela, because it's nice and safe. Okay? Does that sound like a good idea to you? Because we want safety. Now, the press is going to write that. They're going to say, Donald Trump proposed next year's Michigan rally in Caracas, Venezuela. They'll say, isn't that horrible? Isn't that unpatriotic? You understand. This is what I have to go with. I'm only kidding, press. I'm only kidding. Although maybe it's not a bad idea. So El Salvador is an interesting one because I know the president. He's a young guy, and he's been getting this great press that his crime rate's way down, and they're training their criminals. Well, you don't train criminals, okay? You know, maybe every once in a while you get lucky, but you don't. So in El Salvador, murders are down 70%. He's saying, yes, we're teaching. He's different. Most of them just say, well, the United States is stupid, so we're dumping all our criminals there. He does it differently, smart. He goes, we're working with our people that are causing problems and crime. And he's not working with them. He's dumping them in the United States. And their crime rate, their murder rate is down 72%, 73% and going up. And I don't blame them because if I was running one of those countries, and we're not just talking in South America, but if I were running one of those countries, I would have been doing it much more. They're also emptying their jails. The big thing is their jails. Those jails were packed. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, isn't this wonderful? They're doing such a wonderful job. They're dumping their criminals into the United States of America, and we're not going to take it anymore. Stupid people. You're not going to teach a criminal not to be a criminal. Not going to happen. And you don't have the time, you don't have the energy because you have to do other things. That is why as soon as I take the oath of office, we will begin the largest deportation operation in the history of our country, even larger than that of President Dwight D. Eisenhower many years ago. He was a big deportation person. Under the radical left Democrats, Michigan communities are being overrun with migrant crime. You know that better than anybody, right? Does everybody agree? It's being unbelievable. In Oakland County, criminal squads of illegal alien gang members are hiding in the trees and breaking into Michigan homes after dark, looting them for jewelry, purses. You're taking the women's purses right out of their bedrooms. Electronics, cash, they're stealing, they're robbing the houses. Earlier this year in Kent County. Does anybody live in Kent County here? Sounds good to me, but you're not going to like this. A sadistic illegal alien, of which there are many criminals, was sentenced for executing a 22-year-old Grand Rapids woman while she was in her car with her 1-year-old baby, shooting her at least 5 times with a rifle at point-blank range, while the killer was wanted on an outstanding warrant for attempted strangulation of another woman. When I return to the White House, we will stop the plunder, rape, slaughter, and destruction of our American suburbs, cities, and towns. We will shut down deadly sanctuary cities. We're not going to have them anymore. And we will shift massive portions of federal law enforcement to immigration enforcement. We're going to get the bad ones out. We're going to get them out immediately. It's not going to take long. We're going to rely on law enforcement, and we're going to give law enforcement back their dignity, respect, and power so they're allowed to protect you. It's no wonder Joe Biden and his thugs are so desperate to stop us. They know that we are the only ones who can stop them. We're the only ones. You know, we talk about Biden like he's a feeble old guy, and he is. But it's the people that surround him. I mean, he's perfect for them. This is the fascists and communists and some bad people surround him. I know just about all of them. I can tell you about all of them. Did you hear about our big victory in Florida last week? Did you hear? We won the big case. We're going to take down Trump. We're going to take down Trump. No, when you have a great court system, when you have honorable judges, people that really love the country, good things can happen. But we won that case in its entirety. That was the one that's going to take them down. They've been saying that for, 8 years now, right? And here we are leading in every poll. We got to get it close. You got it close. You got it close. We don't want to talk too much. I always say if we win, because I don't like saying when we win, because they cheat like hell. So if we win, but we got to get it close. We're close. 4 months. But you know what 4 months is in this racket? Like an eternity. 4 months is like an eternity, but we're leading by a lot, not just by a little. We're leading every state, every important swing state by a lot, and we're leading nationally by a lot, but we got to get it close. The radical left Democrats rigged the presidential election in 2020, and we're not going to allow them to rig the presidential election in 2024. We're not going to allow it. Every time the radical left Democrats, Marxists, communists, and fascists indict me, I consider it a great badge of honor. You know, I've been indicted more than the legendary Alphonse Capone, Scarface. He was a tough man. See that guy right there? Ultra MAGA. You're Ultra MAGA. He's tough as hell. But if Alphonse didn't like you, you would be in the foundation of a building rising someplace in your great state, right? He was not. He was a tough cookie, this guy. I got indicted more than Alphonse Capone. Think of it. My parents are looking down. I had wonderful parents. They never saw this for me. They never saw. Let's see. I'm voting for. Oh, I don't want to even read that one. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. But I'm being indicted for you. Don't worry about these fake indictments. These aren't indictments. These are Biden indictments. These are a sick, weak, pathetic man who can't run an election, so he indicts his opponent thinking that's going to win. And in many cases, it would. You know, third world countries do this a lot. Banana republics do it a lot. We've never done it. And we're going to teach them why they can never do it again. Because it's actually hard to believe. It's actually driven our poll numbers way up. And then we had the debate. Did anybody watch the debate? Poll. Who won the debate? Biden or Trump? Poll, free poll. I just saved $300,000. Isn't it something these pollsters, they come, oh, I have Tony Fabrizio and McLaughlin back there. I got to be careful. But I just saved $300,000 doing that poll. They interview like 97 people have been interviewed, and Trump is leading by a little smidgen. I got 25,000 people here or something. They got so many people outside. I wish we could include them. I'd love to get them in. Would anybody like to leave now and let the other people come? That's not nice. Never forget, our enemies want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedom. They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you. And in the end, they're not after me, they're after you. I just happen to be standing in their way, and I always will, right? I always will, fellas. So we have some exciting news today because we're pleased to be joined by many outstanding Michigan patriots. They are, I know every one of them, including your next U.S. Senator from Michigan, Mike Rogers. And Mike is just as adamant as me. He'll vote to stop the invasion, end inflation, halt the outsourcing of Michigan jobs, and bring back the auto industry. You are going to double or triple your auto industry within the next 3 years under Trump. Mark it down. Mark it down. Because we're not taking their cars. We want them to build the cars here, using you people to build them. Also with us is another good man who is running for Michigan Senate seat, Sandy Pensler. Do you know Sandy? So I have a big announcement to make then. Sandy has just announced that he would like to do something very important tonight. So you have Mike, who's a total pro, Sandy, who's a total pro. I'd like to ask both of them to come on up, and I'd like to have Sandy make a statement. first. Thank you. Come on up, fellas.
Thank you, Mr. President. I was so inspired when President Trump kissed the empty uniform of Corey Competore. I flashed back immediately to a couple days after 9/11 at the local firehouse where I hugged the lone remaining survivor and looked out at 12 empty uniforms. Thank you for honoring all of them as well. My campaign was always about making America better. The best way to do that is to enact President Trump's policies. Let's go, Trump! Let's go, Trump! To do that, we need control of the Senate. A divisive continued primary effort hurts the chances of that, and that's not okay. So tonight, I'm doing the right thing and ceasing my Senate candidacy. No, it's not an aha. It's the right thing. President Trump endorsed Mike Rogers. Tonight, so am I. Mike's gonna make a heck of a senator. So I want you guys to look around the room tonight because everything goes through Michigan. The presidency, the Senate, the House, and the State House. Look around, make a pledge to each other. We're gonna fight like hell to save America and elect Donald Trump, Mike Rogers, and the rest of the ticket on the Republican Party. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. I am honored to have you stand with us and all Republicans to win the state of Michigan. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for your leadership. You're going to be an important voice going forward in our party in Michigan. And Mr. President, I want to say this as a former law enforcement guy. It wasn't that the bullet took you to the ground. It was the fact that you got back up for America. You bet. I have spent my career working to protect America as an Army officer, as an FBI agent working organized crime in Chicago, as the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. I have never seen a more unsafe America because of the Democrats over the last 4 years. Here's the good news, Mr. President. You will have a partner in the United States Senate that will bring manufacturing back to Michigan. We are the arsenal of democracy. We will be again in this great state. And I'll pledge to you, I will get Department of Justice reoriented to actually going after criminals We are going to dismantle fentanyl distribution from here to the steppes of China, and we're going to tell China, you sell in the United States, you'll have a price to pay. Mr. President, I'll guarantee you this as well. With your leadership, winning the state of Michigan, winning for the United States, putting America back in Washington, D.C. versus Washington, D.C. and the rest of America, we will make America respected again. We will bring back law and order again. We will make America safe again. Let's flip the Senate. Let's elect Donald J. Trump and Mike Rogers to the Senate, and let's get busy. Thanks, Mr. President.
We're unifying the party, and that was beautiful to watch. Thank you, Sandy and Mike. And Mike, good luck. You're running against somebody that's such a bad senator. You don't even, I was there for 4 years plus. I don't even remember meeting that particular person. This is not a senator for Michigan. Mike Rogers is going to be a great senator. He's got gravitas. He really knows his way, highly respected in Washington. And I think, I mean, it should be an easy race. Nothing's easy, but it should be an easy race. So good luck. Good luck. And thank you very much, Sandy, Mike. We're also joined by members of Congress and they're great people, friends of mine, warriors. Jack Bergman. Jack? Thank you, Jack. Great job. A real friend of mine, somebody I was very much in favor of right at the beginning, John James. Thank you, John. A warrior, somebody who helped me through a lot of different things. He gets things done. Bill Heisinger. Bill, thank you, Bill. Thank you very much. And another one. These are all great people. Tim Wahlberg, thank you for everything you've done, Tim. You've been unbelievable. Always there for me, right? Always there. And a man from a slightly different location, a little bit down. You're not going to get there with an electric car, but unless you want to stop a few times. But he comes from a state known as Florida, a great place, and he's so respected. He's such an incredible man. Brian Mast. Brian. Thank you. Thank you, Brian. Brian. Thank you, Brian. What a guy he is. He's a warrior. He's a real warrior. Thank you, Brian. Michigan House Republican leader, Matt Hall. Thank you, Matt. Good job you're doing, Matt. Are we going to win, Matt? Will you please make sure? We need these local ones, right? That's right. Michigan Senate Republican leader, Eric Nesbitt. Thank you, Eric. Great. Thank you. Good job. A congressional candidate who I hear is doing very well, Tom Barrett. Tom, get in there and win. Good. A friend of mine who was really brave, ran a tough race. It's amazing, actually. Really did well. Her father was a very special guy who was in the steel industry, and he passed away. A battle with cancer, a long time battle, but he was fantastic. And I got to know them both very well. She's a terrific woman. Tudor Dixon. Thank you, Tudor. Ambassador Joe Sella. Thank you, Joe. Good job you're doing, Joe. Very important person in this room, Michigan GOP chairman. Where are you? Okay. Pete Hoekstra. Oh, there he is. I fought like hell for him to take that job, right, Pete? I said, Pete, you got to do it. How are we doing, Pete? How are we doing? Huh? We're doing good. If you're in charge, he's going to win. He was a congressman, a really good one, respected. He left. I made him ambassador. He was a great ambassador. And I then said, Pete, you got to do it. He lives here. I said, you got to do it. And we appreciate you doing it. Both of you, thank you very much. We appreciate it very much. RNC chairman, he put on that show with a person named Lara Trump. How good is she? How good is she? She's unbelievable. She made a great speech. And her husband made a very good speech the other night, didn't he? Eric and Don. I don't want to talk about anyone else, only my kids, you know. But they all did well. Everybody did well, honestly. I do think Hulk Hogan, I thought he was incredible. I hadn't seen him in a while. And I'll tell you what, I'm not going to mess with him, right? We're not going to mess with the Hulkster. But he was fantastic the other night. All of them, every single one. My granddaughter did very well. Look at, she's going, what about, who said that? Who said my granddaughter? Wow. Kai. Kai is great. Great golfer. She's a great golfer. But we have another man who's very important, and the RNC chairman, Michael Watley, who's been incredible, wherever Michael is. Mike, thank you, Mike. Great job. I said, Michael, you have one job. We got so many votes, we don't know what to do with them. You got to guard the vote. When those votes get put in, they can't be missing. They can't throw them out. They can't stuff ballot boxes. They can't cheat. Make sure. And, you know, he headed up North Carolina. And on that night, a while ago, that certain election night, that miserable where we thought it was won at 10 o'clock in the evening, and then all of a sudden, additional votes have been reported in various places. We don't have to get into it. North Carolina held totally steady. He had 603 lawyers working. Other people didn't have lawyers working. And bad things happened, but this guy held, and I said, that's the guy I want to run the party. And Michael, I know you're doing a great job, and you're going to do something very special. We don't need votes. We need to guard the vote. You ever hear the expression, too big to rig? The more we get in there, the harder it is for them. My daughter and her husband, Tiffany and Michael, where are you? Tiffany and Michael, you're around here someplace. Two great people. Fairly recently, thank you, Tiff. Great people. And Michael's father's here tonight, highly respected guy, great businessman, and a highly respected guy. From the moment we take back the White House from crooked Joe Biden and Kamala, I call her Laughing Kamala. You ever watch her laugh? She's crazy. You know, you can tell a lot by a laugh. No, she's crazy. She's nuts. She's not as crazy as Nancy Pelosi, crazy Nancy. Did you see Nancy Pelosi is selling out Biden now? Did you see? She turned on him like a dog. Well, I don't know if he should continue. All of a sudden, where did that come from? She was 100%. All of a sudden, she's not sure. Not sure means he's gone. But no, she's crazy as a bed bug. She's a crazy person. I believe we're going to have the 4 greatest years of the history of our country. I believe that. And I believe that Michigan is going to have the greatest of all of any of the states, because I'm going to bring back your auto industry. I'm not going to take this. You know, in Mexico, they're building among the largest plants for auto manufacturing anywhere in the world. In Mexico, near the border, they think that they're going to make cars and sell them into the United States and lose all our jobs. It's not happening. And you know who owns those plants? China! China owns them. And we're not letting it happen. We'll put 200% tariffs on, 400, I don't care what would. Whoever is building your plants, we're not allowing any of those cars to come into the United States, okay? We're telling that to Mexico right now. You want to build those plants? A friend of mine who builds plants, that's all he can do. He's a great guy, but his strength is plants. If you say walk across the street, he's not that good at it. But to build a plant, he has no problem. He builds a great auto plant. So I said, I'd like to see one. Take me. He goes, well, I'll have to go to Mexico. I said, what about the United States? No, not so much. He goes, they're actually some of the biggest in the world being built right now in Mexico. I said, this happened over the last couple of years with this stupid president that we have. Stupid. He's a stupid person. And I can say it because, you know, once he weaponized justice, you know, I would never talk about a president like that. Once he weaponized justice against me, I said, oh, wow, that's really incredible. That's never been done before. I can do it. And I'm knocking them out. But sometimes you have crooked judges. We have some real crooked judges, too. That's the only way. The only way I can lose is crooked judges, but we'll get it overturned, anything that happens. But once he weaponized, I wouldn't talk that way. In fact, before this happened, before he did this, I treated him not nicely, but I treated him with far more respect than I do right now. It's one of those things. But we can't let these companies come in and steal our wealth, steal our jobs, destroy our companies, and end up building it 10 miles across the border and think we're going to allow them to get away with it. We're not. They have to build it over here, and they have to use our people. So and it's going to happen. And Michigan will benefit more than any state in the union because they stole your auto industry, and we're going to bring it back, and it's going to be at a level that it was in its height. Okay? You hear that, John James? You hear that? I'm going to put John James in charge. And the amazing thing, it's not even hard to do. It's not even hard. It's so crazy. You know, if you want to build something in China, you're building it here and you send it over there. We don't want it. They'll charge you like 250% tariff. We don't want it. Then you get an invite. Build your plant over here. So these companies, they go over there. Harley-Davidson did it in India. They couldn't sell. They had a 200% tariff on motorbikes. I had them in the office in the White House, the Oval Office, and the head of Harley-Davidson. I was disappointed in that, actually. We were talking about it. I was telling them the problems, and I was going to help them out. But I said, how are you doing in India? No good. Why? We have a 200% tariff. In other words, if we sell a bike, they have like this massive tariff. And I said, well, if you have a 200% tariff, that means you're not going to be able to sell any. But they invited them over to build a plant, and Harley-Davidson went, and I guess they're building the plant or built it or something. But that's what they do. I don't blame India. I blame us for allowing it to happen. It's not going to happen anymore. I had it stopped, and then we had the COVID fight. We had to fight COVID. We did a great job. We never got the credit. We got credit for military. We got credit for everything. I defeated ISIS. We did unbelievable things. Unbelievable. We got the biggest tax cut in history, the biggest regulation cuts in history. You know, when I go to the companies, the big companies, highly sophisticated, I said, so I got you the biggest tax cuts in history, and that was good for jobs. And I got you the biggest regulation cuts in history, and that was good for jobs. If you could only have one, would you take the regulation cuts or the tax cuts? Every single person, and I must have asked the question 200 times over the years, said the regulation cuts were more important than the tax cuts. Can you believe it? You wouldn't think that. But we got you the biggest regulation cuts in history. Before I even arrive at the Oval Office, shortly after we win the presidency, we win. We're going to all win it together. I will have the horrible war between Russia and Ukraine settled. And I will be the only one that can make this statement. I will prevent World War III from happening. You're very close to World War III. If I was president, the Afghanistan disaster, which probably caused Putin to go in, by the way, he wouldn't have gone in with me. He would have never gone in with me. And he didn't. And by the way, he didn't. But the Afghanistan disaster, not the fact we're getting out. I was getting out. After 21 years, you get the hell out. But I would have kept Bagram. It's 1 hour away from where China makes its nuclear weapons. We gave it to them so stupidly. It's one of the biggest airfields in the world. We built it many years ago for billions of dollars. We were going to keep that. We were going to man it, keep it. Think of it, 1 hour away. You know who has it now? China has it now. How stupid are we? Should have kept that. And you know the lift? The lift should have been done at Bagram, not their little local airport where they had riots all over the place, and then the bombs started going, killing 13 of our great people, obliterating, I heard the number this morning, 47. That's maybe the right number because we're looking at 47, you know that, right? Obliterated 47 great young Americans, their legs gone, their arms gone, their face just wiped out. And hundreds of people besides, hundreds of people. The worst catastrophe, the worst, most embarrassing disaster, I think, ever that happened ever in this country. And because of that, I think Putin looked at that, the incompetence, the stupidness of Milley and these guys that don't know what the hell they're doing. And he looked at it and he said, this is a great time to go into Ukraine. But he would have never done it with me. If I was president, the Afghan disaster would have never happened. Ukraine would have never happened. And October 7th, the attack on Israel would have never happened. Remember, Iran was broke. Iran had no money. They were broke. Now they have $250 billion. But we'll get along with Iran. We'll get along with whoever we have to get along with, but it would have never happened. All of the things, and you know what wouldn't have happened? Inflation wouldn't have happened because I had energy low. Inflation was caused by energy going up twice. I will restore a thing called peace through strength. That's what we have. Remember, I'm the only president in 80 years that I started no new wars. I finished some. Totally defeated the ISIS caliphate. In my next term, we will build a great Iron Dome missile defense shield over our country, a dome the likes of which has not been seen. And it will be entirely built in the USA, and much of it will be built right here in Michigan. Why shouldn't we have the same protection that other countries have, Bill? Why shouldn't we have the same protection that Israel has and that other countries have? And Ronald Reagan wanted to do this many years ago, but honestly, we didn't have the technology. Now we do. 301 missiles were shot at Israel, and almost every one of them was knocked out of the sky. It's an unbelievable technology. And it's our technology, and we're going to use it for our country, and we're going to be a lot safer than not having it. The Iron Dome, we're going to build the great Iron Dome, the latest and the greatest, and much is going to be made right here in Michigan, as you can imagine. And we will not cut one penny from Social Security or Medicare. And they are really, you know, they want to raise the retirement age. Biden wants to raise the retirement age and they're going to. You know why? All of these immigrants coming in, they're trying to put them onto Medicare and Social Security. So not only do they want them to vote, they want to destroy Social Security and Medicare. It's not going to happen. And we're not raising your age. One day, he's going to destroy. First of all, he doesn't have any idea what the hell he's doing. But I kept that promise 4 years ago. Remember, they said, he'll come in and raise Social Security. I went through 4 years. It was never even a topic that was allowed to be discussed. Because we have, between the liquid gold under our feet and all of the other things and the growth mechanism that we have in this country, we don't have to cut Social Security, which people have earned, and we're never going to cut it. And when you hear that stupid guy, that low IQ guy, get up and say, I inherited 9% inflation. False. He inherited 1.4, but really nothing. And when he says he's going to raise Social Security, no, false. He's going to raise it because he's stupid. That's why he's going to raise it. Don't believe it. They have this line where it goes one after the other. But one thing, it's very simple. They're going to raise your taxes 4 times, and that's there because they don't want to renew the tax cuts that I gave. It's approximately a 4 times increase, and they don't want to renew them. But you can't believe these people when they get up. Biden and I watched Camilla the other day, brilliantly put on Fox. I don't know why Fox does it. Please, Fox, will you please get smart? Will you please get smart? And she's ranting, right? He is going to destroy Social Security. He's going to destroy Medicare. He's going to destroy this. I mean, just made up. It's just sound bites. It's disinformation. That's the other thing they're good at. They say anything they want to say. I am going to protect your Social Security. We're not going to be raising the number of years. We're not going to raise it by 1 day, let alone 1 year or 5 years or 10 years like some stupid people want to do. We're going to grow our country. It's going to be growth. And it's going to be using the assets and resources that we have, much of it right under the ground. We're going to rebuild our cities into beacons of hope, safety, and beauty better than they have ever been before. We're going to have to work with the Democrat governors and mayors on that. But our cities are just horribly run. And then we have our capital, our beautiful capital in Washington, D.C. We're going to take it over. We're going to clean it up. We're going to renovate it. We're going to rebuild it. We're going to make our capital the most beautiful anywhere in the world. We're going to get rid of the nightmare of murder and crime. And it will become the most beautiful capital anywhere in the world once again, but far more beautiful than it was before. And when you want to go from Michigan to see the Washington Monument, yes, we're keeping the name Washington. We're not changing the name. Or the Jefferson Memorial, where there's a big move to change the name. We're not changing the name. Remember when they were knocking down statues and I was president, and I found an old bill and I reenacted the old bill. Anybody touching, knocking down, or even trying to harm any of our great statues or monuments goes to jail for a 10-year period with no commutation and no shortening of the sentence. And it was a beautiful sight as we watched everybody leave town. They left town so quickly. They left
Needs to be
town.
codified
We said,
into
bye,
law.
everybody. No, we have to meet people that have evil intentions. They wanted to knock down the Jefferson. If I didn't get the military out to save the Jefferson Memorial, they would have done a job. But I found this old law that today we're almost incapable of producing things like that. 10 years, and there's nothing like good behavior, and you get out in 2 days. It's 10 years in jail if you touch our monuments, if you even try to knock them down. I had a news conference, I signed it, and everybody left town. It was a beautiful thing to do. We're not doing it. We won't be changing the name of Jefferson, Washington, Lincoln, like they did our forts. I get out of office, they did our forts, right? We won 2 world wars in those forts, and now they have different names, many of them. Fort Bragg, and the people that live next to Fort Bragg are not happy. They're not happy. They changed the name. We won 2 world wars out of Fort Bragg, and then they decide to change the name because they think it's politically correct. On day 1, I will sign a new executive order to cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, transgender insanity, and any other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content onto the shoulders of our children. And I will not give 1 penny to any school that has a vaccine mandate or a mask mandate. And I will keep men immediately, day 1, out of women's sports. And I will fully uphold our very important but under siege Second Amendment, as I did for 4 years. And I got the full endorsement from the NRA. You saw that. They gave us their full, strongest endorsement. No, for 4 years I protected, and it was not that easy to do. We will protect innocent life, and we will restore free speech, and I will secure our elections. Our goal will be one-day voting with paper ballots, proof of citizenship, and voter ID. It's very simple. But until then, Republicans must win. We have to win, 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 win. We want a landslide that is too big to rig. I said it before. I'll say it 100, 200, 300 times before that very spectacular date. But, remember, November 5th is not really the date. It starts in early September, North Carolina and some others, because now we have these ridiculous laws where you can vote before the election, after the election. We got to have one-day voting. What happened to those ballots that were over there last week? Oh, sir, we moved them around a little bit. Oh, really? I mean, think of it. You vote 2 months early. Nobody knows what the hell's going on. Where are all the ballots that happened? Why are they using a shovel? They're shoveling off. You ever see what goes on? Take a look at what happened in Georgia. They're shoveling ballots into wheelbarrows, moving them around. If you took the 10 worst presidents in the history of the United States and added them up, they would not have done near the destruction to our country as Joe Biden and his horrible Biden administration have done. They're destroying our country. They are destroying our country. And, we get up and we have levity, we have laughter, but honest, there's really nothing funny about it. They got millions and millions of people, many of whom are criminals and terrorists, flowing through, and people from mental institutions flowing through into our country totally unchecked. And they moved many of them into hotels. Some of them are luxury hotels. Hotel owners are making a fortune. They're destroying their hotel in a certain way, but they're making a fortune. And our military is living on the street with nothing. And yet they're putting these people into luxury hotels. So if you want to save America, get your friends, get your family, get everyone you know and vote. You got to vote early, vote absentee. I don't care how you vote. You know, they all say, oh, sir, we have to vote early. Well, you know, a lot of times you vote early, that's gone. You got to vote, and you got to follow your vote. Make sure it doesn't get canceled out. You can do it. Vote on election day. I don't care how you vote, you've got to vote. Vote early if you want. Everyone's saying vote early. I don't. But look, you got to vote, and you got to get out and vote. You got to protect your vote. That's what Michael's doing. He did it better than anybody else in the country in North Carolina. That stayed right here. When Georgia went down, when Pennsylvania went down, it stayed right there. All of a sudden, in certain states, they found all these votes. A totally rigged election. We're never going to let it happen again, because this time if it happens, we're not going to have a country. We won't have even a semblance of a country left. And if you want to help us ensure election integrity, sign up. It's called protectthevote.com. Protectthevote.com. Sign up. And that's on election integrity. You got to watch and watch very carefully. So in conclusion, from Marquette to Midland, from Lansing to Flint, and from Detroit to right here in Grand Rapids, we've had great victories in Grand Rapids. Remember when we won the state of Michigan? Now, we did much better the second time, but I won't mention that. But remember, and I was at Grand Rapids, and we came in, and we had a crowd like nobody ever saw late in the evening. Remember that? You were there? And we had a crowd like nobody's ever seen before. I said, why would we lose Michigan? And we ended up winning Michigan. I was right. Actually, Bill Clinton told Hillary that he was in Michigan. You're going to lose. You know, he's a good politician. You had a natural instinct. He said, you're going to lose Michigan. You're going to lose Wisconsin. They said, oh, why are we listening to this man tell us this? And he was right. Wisconsin and Michigan. I said, why are we going to lose? We had 49,000 people show up. She had like 300 people show up. I said, why are we going to lose? And we won. We won Michigan. And then we did much better the second time, but bad things happened. We're not going to let that happen anymore. We stand on the shoulders of the brave Michigan patriots and tough Michigan workers who manned the first assembly lines. You remember that? Does anybody remember that? It's a long time ago. Anybody remembers that? They're extremely old. Is there anybody that wants to admit they revolutionized industries and turned this state into a manufacturing powerhouse like no other? And we're going to bring it back. And we're going to bring it back. I'm not talking about lots of other industries. I'm talking about the auto industry, because it's such a big industry. I can say we're going to bring back cement. We're going to bring back all sorts. I'm just talking very simple. It's so simple. It's going to happen so fast. You're going to be at a level as though you were from 30, 40 years ago. You're going to manufacture cars again at a level that you haven't seen in many, many decades. You probably have to get rid of this fool, this stupid idiot representing the United Auto Workers, because he sells the auto. You know, I'm much more popular than anybody with the auto workers. We're going to get 95% of their vote. But they have a guy that, I mean, he pushes the electric mandate, and they're going to be made in China. They got to get rid of that guy. He's bad news. Your Michigan ancestors gave us Motown, the Mustang, and the might of the American Midwest. And it really is a might. They forged the steel, laid the railroads, tilled the fields, fought the battles, and won the victories that made America into the greatest and most powerful nation in the history of the world. That's true. It was the most powerful. But now we are a nation in decline, and it's a very serious decline. We are a failing nation. We are a nation run by fools and stupid people. We're a nation that has lost its confidence, its willpower, and its strength. We're a nation that has lost its way. But we are not going to allow this horror to continue. We're not going to let it happen. Less than 4 years ago, we were a great nation, and we will soon be a great nation again. With the right leadership, every disaster crooked Joe Biden has created can be fixed, and very, very quickly. Every problem can be solved, and every wrong can be rectified. By this time next year, America's borders will be strong, sealed, and secure very easily. Get ready, Tom Homan. Inflation will be in full retreat. Our economy will be roaring back. Optimism will be surging. You will have your confidence back. We don't have any confidence. That's like an athlete that can't sink the shot, can't hit the ball, lost his calm. We're going to have you hitting the ball again. We're going to have you playing at the top of your game. The American dream will be thriving again for citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. Law and justice will reign all throughout our land. Freedom will be restored. The flame of liberty will be burning bright. Crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of our country, will be a fading memory of the past, and our great silent majority, including the once forgotten men and women of our country, will be the one shaping America's magnificent future when I am the 47th president of the United States of America. Thank you. Because we are all Americans, and together we will show November 5th to be the most important day in the history of America. It will be the most important day. And when we turn it, our country's going to be great again. And if we don't turn it, our country is finished. You know it, and I know it, and everybody knows it. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And together we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you very much. Thank you, Michigan. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
All right, well, that was a hell of a
Remember
speech.
the 5th of November.
Yeah. I don't think, hopefully I don't get a copyright strike on that, I don't know, 2 seconds of
No
music.
2 bars it shouldn't. Maybe a claim, but not a strike.
Okay, cool. As long as I don't have to worry about editing it out, because I didn't really have a lot of it.
The upside is on YouTube, you can go use the little copyright thing and just mute it. And then
yeah. I literally had to do the same thing because the other night when I was talking about the assassination attempt aftermath, I had to go back and edit the video because I used a video from ABC. Disney's a fucking piece of shit. Anyways, guys, I have 2, 3, about 4 pages of notes in regards to the speech. I'm going to start with you, King Chenard, since you just showed up. I'm sure you were listening quite a bit. NYC Majestic, please try to maintain your vitriol. I understand why you may not like the fact that he is up here, but he is able to be up here. I'm still honoring your ban. NYC Majestic, I want to hear why. Who's back here? Righteous Muffin. Righteous Muffin, is that you? Please don't. I hope it's you. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to drop you. Okay, give me more than yeah, bro. I'm gonna drop you.
Yeah, it's me. I was on with Gary the other day.
Okay, all right, cool. Had to be certain.
Yeah, start with, thank you, sir. Sorry, I changed my profile picture to a fat cat.
I just had to make sure because you know how it is with the P bombers.
Yeah, yes, sir.
We're gonna start with you, King Chenard. Tell me, what were your thoughts about the Trump speech?
I came in halfway.
Tell me what you think about the halfway part.
Yeah, it just dude talks too much, man. Fills the air with a lot of bullshit. And I mean, some of the stuff he said, I don't even think he'd even be able to accomplish it.
Such as?
What do you say? The inflation of energy. He just said that shit just to say it. He just said it to to don't understand, get confused or some shit. Yo, am I bored? Am I going in and out?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
Yeah, I'm saying like, yeah, the whole energy comment. I don't know why he said that. Yeah, I don't know what he means by that. The shit was caused by COVID and all those stimulus checks and unemployment benefits.
Okay. All right. All right. With that, in that case, then how about you, Righteous Muffin? I don't know how much of the speech you were able to listen to. Trump did give a lot of points. What are your thoughts, sir? Tell me what you got.
Yeah. So I'll be honest with you. I was on CT stream for the last couple hours. So I just caught the last maybe 5-10 minutes. But so one thing is like, look, he talks about bringing down inflation, but the truth of the matter is the only way for him to really bring down inflation is they would literally have to get a whole bunch of dollar bills and burn them, because inflation is caused by printing more dollars, which is something that only the government can do. He also says that inflation didn't go up under him, or it only went up like 1.4% or something like that. And then, it's gone up tremendously under Biden. While that is true, that is because the money that Trump had printed for the COVID stimulus, all that good stuff, all the money that he had printed, the market didn't have time to catch up on the inflation. So had Trump stayed president, and you could even say that, so yes, Biden made it worse with the rescue recovery plan or whatever it was, the one that he did, and printed more money. Sure, you can say that Biden did it worse. There's no way to tell whether or not Trump wouldn't have done the same thing. But had Trump stayed president, inflation would have shot up under him as well. Because again, I believe when you look at the graph of inflation, it went up a little bit before Trump leaves office, and then I think it's been a while since I looked at the graph, but I think it's in like March of Biden's presidency. So Biden was president for like 2 or 3 months, and then inflation just jumps off the chart. So I hate the talking point that Biden is the cause of all the inflation. It's just a bad talking point in a way to protect Trump from the things that he did as well. I will say that he also, like Shenard kind of pointed out, he just like says, and every candidate does this. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. No, he's not. And we have a lot of, we have the precedent of Trump's first presidency, and I just don't believe all the people who are on Trump's side who say that like just trust the plan he learned from last time and everything like that. When it comes to the people that he's picking to already staff his administration, even simple things like J.D. Vance and Nikki Haley and some of the other people, as well as him disowning Project 2025, I don't think that he's gonna. I don't think he learned from staffing his administration properly. And then, unfortunately, I'll make sure to be careful about it. I think we talked about this the last time I was on. He is extremely Israel first in giving them whatever they want to do, whatever it is that they want to do over there to try and, finish things up over in that area. So I'm not happy about all that.
Well, you mentioned that he doesn't staff his administration properly. Can you go into that real quick before I move on?
Sure. I will say that I don't know so much about his current staffing other than the two that I mentioned, which is Nikki Haley and J.D. Vance. But one of the things is that him disowning Project 2025, yes, while it is like a form of Christian nationalism, one of the other things that they did is they put together a very comprehensive list of people who have been ride or die Trump people from the beginning. And so for Trump to come out and immediately start to disown that, it's twice at that. It's a bad look. So when you go back to his first administration, you have people. So I believe it was Steve Miller. I think that was his name, the Treasury Secretary. That guy was literally from Goldman Sachs, and he was a chief finance officer, I believe, in Goldman Sachs when the whole 2008 housing market crashed. So there's that. You have Rex Tillerson, who was a giant oil tycoon that he put into his administration. I can't remember. I think he was Secretary of State for a little bit. Then you have the Warhawk people that he put into his administration. You had John Bolton and several others. I apologize. It's been several years since I've looked at his staff from 2016 to 2020, and obviously we know that Trump went through so many people. And unfortunately, what I think is that because of how demonized Trump was in the media and in the news and everything like that, Trump had a very small pool of good people to actually try and have. So that's problem number one. Problem number two is, whether people want to admit it or not, Trump is a huge egomaniac and narcissist. So I believe what happened is the snakes and the oil, the snake oil salesmen, they were able to, they figured out Trump's gimmick, which is basically they just come out, they say some nice things about Trump. Oh yeah, he's a good guy, I like him, and that sort of stuff. So they come out and say nice things, and Trump is like, well, he said nice things about me, so I'm going to put him in my cabinet. And so Trump said that he wanted to drain the swamp, but in all actuality, unfortunately, he made the swamp bigger with his administration.
Fair point. Fair point. We're gonna go on next to Rocky. Rocky, sir, you got a chance to watch most of the Trump speech during the Michigan rally. Let me get your thoughts.
Well, he's got a good rhetoric, you know what I mean? I like his rhetoric, but I think it's all a stage. I don't know. I sure as hell don't want to vote for Biden, but I haven't voted for no one for forever. I don't really vote. But, maybe that was a psyop on me. Maybe I should have been voting. But, are you guys going for this ear thing? You think that was real? I mean, I don't know.
Well, keep in mind, I mean, if you're going to say that the ear part of him getting shot in the ear was a conspiracy, just keep in mind that even when you look at where he was shot in the ear, it was at the top part of the cartilage. So it's not too far of a stretch to assume that he's wearing a flesh-colored, or at least his skin tone colored bandage over where his ear is at. Because I'm sure there was major damage and a lot of bleeding then. I don't think he has any need to lie about when he talked to his doctors yesterday at the RNC, when he said that part of the cartilage bleeds a lot. It wouldn't make any sense for him to lie about that. Anyone could fact check it. So if that's the case, the majority of the bleeding should have stopped by now. It's been a week. And he could probably get away with putting a flesh-colored bandage over top of that, which wouldn't, show much of a bandage at all compared to what he was using before. It was just gauze. You see what I'm saying?
He can come out and say that he got plastic surgery and got it all fixed. He could come out and
afford it. Huh? He could afford it. He could afford it.
Yeah, he could
afford that, Johnny on the spot. Yeah, he could afford that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I want to go to Calvin next. We'll go to you, Sasquatch, next after that. Calvin, you were here in the chat for quite a while. I know that you've watched a good majority of the Trump speech. I'm sure you were probably in and out here and there, but I know you were in the chat for quite a bit, so I'm sure you caught a good amount of the bits and pieces of it. Let me get your thoughts, sir.
Yeah, so I did watch a lot of it. I'll review my points that I said in the chat previously, but offhand, my impression of his of this rally is vintage Trump, crass, rude, insulting, conceited, self-absorbed, something else. Braggadocious, pathological liar. I love it. I need him to remind people that he's not changed and that he's the same person that we voted out in 2020. That's what I have to say.
Real quick for Noel, I put the link in the chat, but I think you're in Sasquatch's stream. I put it in the back chat. Sasquatch, if you can send Noel the link or put it in your chat. I have it in my chats right now. Yeah. Yeah, Noel's asking for it. I put it in the back chat.
I got it. But have you interacted with Noel before?
No, I haven't. But I don't know if he or she, because I don't know who. If Noel
she's been on CT stream. She mostly just lays in bed.
Yeah, she can sometimes be a difficult panelist.
Wait. Is it the same? Wait. Is Noel? Is it the same Noel who likes Angel?
Oh, Noel is.
She sounds like Angel.
Okay, all right. So so Noel and Angel are kind of like on the same playing field.
Yes.
Right? Is it that Noel? Okay.
Yes.
So, all right. We'll make it work. I don't like to. I really don't like to negate panelists.
You're selling
really
participation or you're not. And if you're selling participation, that's part of the program. You have to learn to deal with difficult panelists.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, I've had Angel up here before. I've had Angel up here, so
I'm not familiar with that one, but I have seen people completely freak out at Noelle, and she's just being herself, and that's just how she is, you know.
I've also had Brandon.
Just bring her up, man. Stop talking.
Have you guys met Brandon? Have you guys met Brandon?
Drop the link, bro. I can't make her come up.
No, I'm saying, have you met Brandon? Have any of you met Brandon?
Yes, Brandon Looney Tunes. Brandon.
I've had Brandon.
Whatever.
I've had Brandon here as well.
Not the same.
But you get my point, though. You get my point. Yeah. All right. Real quick, Sasquatch. Let me get your takeaways from Trump's speech in regards to him being at the Michigan rally.
I think somebody needs to get with me about writing his speeches, because if he did not start that one with "Friends, Americans, countrymen, lend me your ear," and I find that to be a huge miss. But other than that, yeah, he hit all of the high topic points. Did you notice he didn't even make a nod towards abortion? I mean, it wasn't even in the list. I don't remember him saying a single word about it. Whatever that means. An observation. I didn't hear him say anything about firearms, but I heard him dance around the issue of like police funding and that type of stuff. That's going to be badly done. It's always badly done. So that's something to worry about.
An NRA endorsement.
Yeah, I read it right at the end. He talked about how great he is on the Second Amendment. I had comments about that, but it was your turn, Sasquatch.
Yeah, it's
red flag. Red flag.
Good to see you.
No, well, also he did the bump stock ban.
I remember now. I'm in the South. Around here, we don't lock up our crazy people. We give them a mint julep and a pistol and put them on the porch. They become security. So, I mean, at what point in time does a gun, like, does the firearm question become an issue? Is it a population density issue? Is it because I can understand not wanting high-powered rifles in tenement buildings. This isn't an irrational request to not have 50 cals in freaking buildings where it can blast accidentally through 17 buildings. I mean, it makes a little more sense than telling me that I can't have a pistol because I'm inside a city. I don't understand that. I can carry a long gun over my shoulder anywhere I want to, as long as it's carried properly and not, not loaded and all that cool stuff. That's perfectly legal. But I can't just have a pistol in my pocket. That's somehow more illegal. I don't understand the logic behind some of these laws over there, Like by creating a no gun zone, you create a soft target that is automatically a soft target. I don't care how much security you put in that location. They are not expecting issues because for 1,000 days in a row to 10 years in a row, they have no problems. And then on a random Tuesday, a madman walks in and creates a problem. So it's all very mysterious to me how you come from the Second Amendment to trying to remove guns. I don't get it.
Well, Trump claimed that he was going to be protecting the Second Amendment. Sorry.
Go ahead, Righteous. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't know if maybe you missed it, Sasquatch, but it was right there at the end of his speech. What he was saying that like he's so great at protecting the Second Amendment, and he's got like an 8 grading from the NRA or something like that. That's what Chenard was just alluding to. That happened right at the end of his speech.
Yeah, I had to go to the bathroom for a second. I might have missed it.
Yeah. So he did make the claim that he is great on the Second Amendment and it's very tough, and but he's protecting our rights. Unfortunately, his record doesn't prove that.
I think constitutional carry should be just the way it works.
Yeah.
No concealed carries, none of that. You know, as long as you're not a felon and you're a law-abiding citizen, there's no reason, a rational person at least. I mean, but then again, I also push for home defense nukes because I figure a rational person with a nuke wouldn't use it. So why would it matter if he had to?
I'd love to argue the felony with you.
I'm not a big fan of felons having their rights taken permanently. I'm more of the opinion that their rights should be limited for some prescribed amount of time during the sentence and for, some amount of time afterward in conjunction with probation, parole, and those types of stipulations, after which point you should get your rights back, provided it's a non-violent, non-gun related crime. This does not mean that a guy selling crack that has a pistol in his pocket is involved in a violent crime. The pistol is.
I'd personally argue that if you've completed your sentence, and that means restitution, probation, and prison sentence, whatever it may be, when you've completed all of that, you should get all of your rights back. Because then at that point, it's no longer a right. And here's my thing: is that if we believe that these people are so dangerous that we can't trust them with their Second Amendment right, which is supposed to be a right given to us from God, then I don't think they should be back on the street. Keep them in jail. If we can't trust them to vote or have guns, they shouldn't be on the street.
Exactly. I've got a lot of friends who are very rational people who made bad decisions, ended up in bad situations, and 10 years later, they can't vote, they can't have firearms, and they get all shifty around cops. And there's nothing they can do about that. They can't, they can petition the governor. And I know I got a few friends who have successfully done so to get their voting rights back, but it's not guaranteed. That's strictly at his discretion. So it depends on what state you're in and what governor you've got.
Sure, but then again, at that point,
so if no one else has anything else they want to add, I'm going to go over some of the notes that I have from the speech. Unless Bumpkin, you just popped up. Do you want to give some of your takeaways from Trump's speech at the Grand Rapids rally?
Real quick.
Go ahead. Quick.
Do you guys really think that the Democrats want Biden to step down? I really believe that.
34
yes.
main Democrats want it. They came out and said they want it.
So. Bro, it's just political theater, man. They don't really want him to step down. They want him to actually. They want him to still go through with it. They want that news buzz. Like, look, Biden is still running after. Everyone's telling.
Well, do you think they actually want him to win, or do you think they want Trump to win?
What's up with the Illuminati card that has
they want Biden to
win.
They want him to win.
See that
the Illuminati is still real.
On the Illuminati card, do you see that where the line goes right by his ear like a bullet going past the right ear? And it says enough is enough. And it says we got snipers in the audience that can take you out anytime on the card. What is predictive programming? What is that shit? Really, tell me what that is. I don't know what it is.
What? We were discussing Chenard's question.
What are we talking about?
Well, Chenard was asking us a question about whether or not we believe the Democrats actually want Biden to run. I think they actually want Biden to drop out. I think they were trying to hide it for as long as possible. And the thing is like the rules that they gave for the debate between Trump and Biden, they didn't actually think that Trump was going to agree to those debate rules. And thankfully, Trump actually listened to some people this time and shut his fucking mouth. Sorry if I shouldn't be cussing. And he allowed Biden to speak and show how terrible Biden is. And now that the whole world, or at least more of our country, has been able to see how terrible Biden is, yeah, they need him to drop down because there's no way Biden can win against Trump. That's what I think.
Go ahead and give your take. You were about to speak and you got cut off.
I didn't really watch much of the speech. I was preoccupied doing other things. So I can't really give a proper take.
No, you was just
on
at
his
the
actual
RNC,
speech.
man.
Yeah, I was at the RNC.
You
Did
just at the RNC, bro.
Yeah, did this take place at the RNC? This last speech?
Why didn't you watch it? You drove all the way over there, right? You had time to watch it.
Shinar, do you realize that Milwaukee and Michigan are not in the same place?
Bro, you chose not to watch the speech, bro.
No, I was busy doing other things.
He was busy, in all fairness. I know for a fact he was indisposed of while I was streaming.
Yo, you seen that what is it? It was on Snowman stream. Some dude came up to Andre and was like, "Yo, can I take a picture of you?" He's like, "Hey, can I bring my brothers along?" I don't even know what that the other white dude said, but he wanted a picture of that clown just to say like, "Look, we got a black guy over here." That shit was funny.
Shenard, it was actually funny. A big fat black guy on the corner actually used the term tap dancer towards Andre, and I'm starting to think you might live in Milwaukee. You might have been that guy.
Yeah, and then that white lady, what did she call him? She called him a
black Nazi,
a white supremacist. Yeah, he is. I've been said that, bro.
Why are you high?
I said it. You said what?
Are you high? How much crack you smoking right now, bro? You know, if you bring some on stream, you gotta share it with the rest of the class.
You're just reaching too far, man.
I'm not reaching too far at all.
Bro, you got a black white supremacist.
You are a retarded, ignorant dope head.
Now I'm a dope head.
You probably not got enough crack in your veins to supply the entirety of Detroit, Michigan.
Isn't this new? This is new, right? Now I'm a crackhead. This is the first time I'm hearing this. That's crazy.
I don't care. You slander people all the time, man. You don't like it?
You
don't like it? You don't like being slandered?
You and that
stop slandering other people.
Masters of slander. Fuck out of here.
And we should take that crazy crackhead's guns from him.
Hey, you made up shit all day long, bro. You calling us white supremacists, so I don't want to fucking hear shit about fucking. Oh, he called me a crackhead, man. Oh. If you can't receive it, don't dish it out.
Can we get at least one person up on camera? Because I mean, it's just me on camera right now. Thank you, Sasquatch. Appreciate you, bro.
I mean, I'll get on camera.
Thank you, Rocky. Because I know for a fact at least some of y'all are near your computers. Actually, I'm gonna move this over properly because
I just didn't really feel like I was part of that conversation.
No, it's cool. It's just I'm okay with the interchange. I just want to go over my notes. Unless someone else wants to interject something, I'm gonna go over some of my notes real quick. I have quite a bit of notes. I don't want to go over them all in one shot because it's gonna be mind numbing. So I'm gonna go over the first page.
Please go, sir.
No, I'm gonna go over the first page of my notes. That's it, and then I'll do the rest. I'll go over the other three later on. So we start off with NAFTA and China having a sweetheart deal allowed into the WTO, World Trade Organization, under the Biden administration. Trump did state that the GOP is a very big party. And we know this because they've been accepting in more different kinds of people, especially log cabin Republicans have had a huge influx under the Trump campaign. They've added Americans of every race, religion, color, and creed. Let's see. Would rather face Trump did admit he would rather face Biden over Kamala. I don't think it's really going to matter, to be honest with you. I think even if Kamala is on the ticket, I don't think she's going to be able to do much. I think that she's going to lose not as badly, but almost as badly as Biden if Biden is selected as the nominee. But I also think that the convention is going to get opened up next month. That's my opinion. Trump also claimed that he has nothing to do with Project 2025. He has mentioned that before this speech. He also claimed he had nothing to do with QAnon, even when he was pressed about it in a town meeting. He also reminds the crowd that he took a bullet for democracy, and excuse me, you mentioned it as well, Pumpkin, that when he mentioned that he's going to win for mentioning that, and I do agree with you. He's going to continue to mention that, and he will win because of that. Mentions if you vote for Biden, you are indirectly voting for Kamala Harris. I agree, although Kamala Harris is not his only handler. Mentioned that stopping the invasion on the southern border, because the southern border is still going to be open. Whether or not he finishes the wall is a different story. Says that the newest form of crime is migrant crime. And to be honest with you, yes, migrant crime has been an all-time high. A lot of criminals are coming from the southern border, and a lot of crimes are occurring from that. Of course, if you look at the situation that happened in Maryland last month, the mother who was raped and killed over in Maryland from the illegal migrant who came in to the U.S., and that buying oil from Venezuela we've been buying Venezuelan oil and been refining it in Texas. Venezuelan crude oil, by the way, is also known as summer oil. It's what we do. It's what we started doing back in the summer of 2022 to mitigate the oil prices rising at the start of the Ukraine war. And last from this first page, he mentions Viktor Orban indirectly when he talks about the strong leader from Europe who is talking about the amount of wokeism that's occurring in the United States and in the West and us curtailing it. He is mentioning Viktor Orban. He and Viktor Orban have talked before. He does have respect for Viktor Orban. That's not the first time he's talked about him. I'm going to go. That's my first page. I'm going to open it back up to the panel. Thank you, Denizen, for coming onto the panel. Let me hear your thoughts first.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Excellent. I just wanted to say shout out to King Shenard, and
Peace.
As far as all these tap dancers up here are concerned, you need to listen to this man. You can call him a dope fiend, but he sees things that not the average.
Dope would do to you.
Yeah, it gives you insight. And if you weren't too
that,
busy tap dancing around, you might learn something from this man.
Yo, tell him.
I'm trying to, King Shenard. I'm trying.
Tap dancing is just too fun, bro.
This shit is sad, man.
Bought special shoes for it.
Go ahead, Denizen.
It's too many tap
Personally, I'm a fan of Gregory Hines. Always have been. I'm a tap dancer myself, but I'm trying to be reformed, and King Shenard is the way.
Bro, hold on, you're white, right?
Yeah, I'm a evil white devil.
Yeah. No, you're one of the allies. Well, you still got time, bro. You can stop being an ally. But for now, since, I don't know yet. I don't know. I don't really know. I haven't really heard some of the stuff you said, but, Bumpkin, for example, he's a white ally. And Jay Rillo.
Also, Rocky Stick is really big, and I'm intimidated.
Oh yeah, Muffin is too. I don't know who is up here.
Whoa, no. I said, just so you know, I'm not.
No, you are an ally.
No, I'm not.
You hang around those tap dancers, bro.
Is allyship based off race or just proximity?
Yeah, if you're white, you're an ally.
Ally of
Puerto
what?
Rican, same shit. Asian, you're an ally. Tap dancing ally. You guys are the ones that are in the audience clapping these clowns on while they tap dance on the stage.
But
so race is not a qualifier.
No, race is. Yeah, if you black and you're a tap dancer, you can't be a tap dancing ally if you're black.
I mean as far as allyship. So race is not a qualifier for allyship.
Oh, I thought he was saying allies in like he's an ally, like Denizen is an ally to Chenard's black supremacy.
I don't know about Dennison. No. I'm talking about the tap dancing. I don't know about Denizen. I don't know, but I know you, Muffin, Rillo, Bumpkin, and
Chenard, you're starting to bot out. You're botting out, bro.
Yeah.
You're botting out.
You gotta get closer to the McDonald's cash register.
You're botting out, bro.
Yeah, I don't know about Denizen. I don't know about Denizen, but I know Rillo, Bumpkin, and Muffin. Those are white allies.
Yeah, I can't be a tap dancer because I'm white.
You and I are now part of the same bucket.
I thought I was a white advocate. I'm a white dude. Am I a white ally? I'm so confused. What's going on here?
Bumpkin, you and I are now in the same bucket. So
yeah, look at that. Look at that. So I guess
I better get my privilege card immediately.
Hell yeah.
You're getting sent back home, sir.
So I'm getting sent to another part of the United States? Great. I'll gladly take a free vacation to a tropical island.
The food is better.
One day you'll wake up.
Food is extremely better. Yes.
The women are better.
Yes, the women are better too. Yes, by all means, send me.
That's debatable.
No income tax too, right?
No tax on capital gains from stocks, sir.
Yes, sir.
Section 60, sir. I might retire there.
Yep.
What, Puerto Rico?
You said
no.
It's on the list.
Gains from stocks, sir. Section 60.
Yeah.
Gladly send me there. And I have family, and I could probably inherit my abuelo's house in Juncos in the mountains. Gladly, sir.
Hey, that's way better than we can do.
It's not possible.
What's not possible? I can't inherit my grandfather's estate? You kidding me?
No, you said something about no capital gains tax on stocks. It's not possible.
There's something called Section 60. There's no taxes on capital gains if you live within the territory of Puerto Rico when you sell.
I thought you were talking about some Trump shit.
Stocks. No, I'm not. No, this has already been established, sir.
Yeah, this for a minute now.
By all means, let me get sent back. Let me get extradited. I'll take that in a heartbeat. You kidding me? I will day trade and I'll swing trade and I will do options. I'll do all that shit. I'll never have to work a day in my life ever again.
That's if you win, bro. That's if you win.
Go ahead, guys. Anybody can go. Anybody.
Talking like that.
Okay, cool.
Who said you're being sent back? Who even said that?
It was
I did.
Yeah, it was Muffin. Yeah, Muffin was saying being sent back, which is fine.
Yeah, we're gonna send you back, bro.
Muffin.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's going back to Puerto Rico, bro. We already basically a state of the United States. He's winning in that deal.
I'm winning in that deal, bro.
That's fine, but here's the thing. Here's the thing: is he can't vote in the federal elections.
Aww.
Oh no!
You can't vote in the elections that are rigged and don't matter. Oh no!
Yes. Also, he's not in the main. Also, you're not in the mainland, bro. So it's all good.
The only downside is that Social Security was taken away, and that was decided upon by the Supreme Court back in 2022. That's the only downside is I don't get Social Security benefit. That'd be the only downside.
I want to explore Muffin's wig nastiness.
Hold on. Even though Puerto Rico paid for it, they were not allowed to receive it.
I want to explore Muffin's wig nastiness. All right.
Bumpkin. I won't get bothered about it. I won't get bothered.
I want to explore.
Let's explore, bro.
Let's explore.
Don't be gay about it, though.
Yeah. I'm never gay about it. Maybe that's in your department.
Yeah, okay. Questionable.
Okay. So you extending that to Africans too?
Oh God, I wish. Yeah. Oh yeah.
How are you going to feasibly do that?
Africans?
How would we do mass deportations?
Well, with his.
Hold on, guys. Before you guys continue on, Sasquatch has to do his own thing. Sasquatch, would you like to have your final thoughts before you dip out?
I haven't really digested the whole thing yet. He's doing all the politician things, saying all the right stuff, giving excellent lip service and magnificent rhetoric. He's doing the Donald Trump "I'm an entertainer" thing. And one thing I'm a little concerned with is how minuscule his Secret Service is. The individuals are small people, and I'm not a huge fan. Maybe they're very strong, small people, but he's a very big man. I'd rather have large guys protecting him, large women. That'd be fine. I think we can all get along on that one. But qualified for sure, right? But beyond that, I'm gonna digest it. I'll if you're still alive after I get done cooking, I'll come back in and we can rehash the old pup and see what's up.
Thank you so much for coming through, Sasquatch. As always, you are always welcome to show up whenever you'd like. Appreciate
Much
you,
love,
Sasquatch. Thank you so much. Take care, sir. Enjoy your night. Guys, make sure that you go over to Sasquatch, go to Caucasian Sasquatch, drop a like, drop a sub, share his content. He's been a great help to the channel, a great asset. Big love, big shout out to Caucasian Sasquatch. Go ahead, fellas, go into your back and forth.
Yeah. So if you want to send Africans back, I'm not talking about fresh African immigrants. Yeah, they need to go the fuck back. But we're talking about established African Americans that have been here since the founding of the nation, right? If you want to send them back, are you going to send Italians back too, and the Irish?
Why?
Because they're newer to the nation than the Africans are.
Oh, we're just sending people back based on time?
I mean, that's the only justification for it.
No, it's not.
What's the justification for it?
Race.
There's one you can reuse.
There's race. There's the 1786 Immigration Act, right? The 1786 Immigration Act said white men from good stock, of good character, right? Mm-hmm. And European Jews. So you want to go back to that one?
European
the small hats?
European Jews or white Jews. That was the first Immigration Act of the United States of America. So would you be okay with that one? Yes. Would you be okay with that one?
No. Just as we amended it later on, we could amend it again.
Okay. All right. So
well,
even the founding fathers themselves didn't agree on what was white.
Why should we send back the fresh new Africans?
We should send back the fresh new Africans because they do not assimilate.
If they haven't been given time to assimilate.
I don't give a single fuck. They do not assimilate, and they're Somalians and they're trash. They're subhuman.
So how do you hang on? No, hang on. So how do you prove that someone has assimilated?
That's what I was just gonna ask.
They choose not to speak English. They choose to tribe up in their own communities. Even let's even take the staunch difference between Somalians and your average typical Black American.
I was about to say, because right now you've only given two standards, and from those two standards, I can apply that to African Americans in America.
Not sure, bro. Sure, but my point being is the only justifiable matter. Listen, if we were sitting in Europe right now, I would be like, absolutely. They need to go back to wherever the fuck they're from because this is blood and soil. This is the European homeland. We've been here for thousands and thousands of years, right? If this argumentation was solely on the basis of Europe, I'd be like, absolutely. Okay? But
does Andre think like this?
Yeah. So, yeah, Andre can't Andre can't stand new African immigrants, bro.
He doesn't like Africans, right? Yeah, he likes Europeans. He's a Negro-pean.
So what other standards do you have that can't be applied to other races?
Oh,
see, because here's the thing. Is I've at least given the standard that I want a full certain race kicked out or certain races kicked out, and that's fine to me. However, you seem to have a discrepancy with that when I say it because you're just like, well, no. I only want to kick out the new Africans, and you give two reasons why. So, do you have anything else? Because as of right now, again, your standard can be applied to many other people in this country.
Can we just go back to only landowners can vote? Only landowners can vote. That would solve a lot of things.
That wouldn't solve shit. You would still only have like BlackRock and Vanguard voting. That wouldn't
Chinese corporation could just buy up all the land.
And Chinese corporations.
one vote per person, and you have to own land. You can't be an 18-year-old straight out of, you got to, I mean, everybody votes. That's ridiculous.
Everybody votes.
One vote.
Okay, so Bumpkin, anything else? Because here's the thing: is again, like you wanted to come at me.
The
like
realism,
you-
the
Bob.
realism of this ever
Shout out to
happening
Bob.
is so far and
Sure.
so just like not even applicable, bro.
Sure, okay, but that's not what you asked me. You didn't ask me what do I think we could do. You asked me what did I want. I told you what I want. I'm not so delusional to think that could actually happen. But you seem to believe that, I don't know. Do you believe that Trump's going to come in and kick out all the brand new African immigrants?
Hold on.
Yeah, I was a little confused too. Like when he brought up the Immigration Act, I was wait, I was like in hypothetical abstract land. You're in actual United States land. Like nobody's gonna get deported.
Yeah, Trump's not going
Well,
to do shit.
it's definitely possible to deport new, especially
I
illegal
agree,
immigrants.
but you don't think that's
It's
gonna
definitely
happen,
possible. I
Can
think
they-
it's going to happen.
You think
With
Trump is going to come in?
with Donald
Okay,
Trump,
how?
no.
How?
With Donald Trump, no.
How?
Okay.
How do we achieve? No. See, Bumpkin, here's the thing: is you wanted to press me on how I was going to achieve my goal. Now you say that your goal is more realistic. So, sir, I ask you, how do you achieve your more realistic goal?
Welcome in, Dirty Dog.
Welcome in, Dirty Dog. Yeah, it's a longer process. You gotta uproot the system on a local level. By doing so, you move up the chain. You push that Overton window vastly in towards our direction, which I'm assuming we come from the same, unless you're like a libertarian white nat, which is weird. But I don't think you're that. So you push the Overton window towards our direction, right? You win in local politics, and you move up the chain like that. That's how you would change the discourse, and that's how you would gain political power within the United States.
So within let's say, like, I don't know, 10 to 30 years, sometime within there, then we might finally start to kick out the new Africans that were coming in at that point in time. So then what you're saying is that then all of the brand new Africans who are coming in now, who have now had 10 to 30 years to establish themselves, are we kicking them out too, or what?
Do we kick out the Chinese immigrants?
Yes.
Mexican immigrants?
I don't need you coming in here trying to save him, Rocky.
What?
I don't need you coming in here trying to save him. I want him to answer.
Is there a way we can measure assimilation?
I'm not trying to save nobody, man. I can talk.
So, Bumpkin, are you going to answer my question?
Repeat your question.
Okay, so with the plan that you just laid out, nothing is going to happen and I'm being very generous here when I say at
10
minimum
to 30 years.
10 years, let's say 30 years max. Yeah. So what about those new Africans who get here today and have been here for the last 10 years and they've had time to establish themselves? Are we kicking them out, or with your policy, are we only going with the new ones that get in at that day?
No.
Thanks for coming through,
Taking
Shenard.
them out because the
What's your justification?
Somalians, because the Somalians that got here were allowed here. Let's take Minnesota for instance, right? They were allowed here on a false presumption. Okay. Same with a lot of illegal immigrants coming from south of the border. They came here on a wrong presumption. So yes, if they've been here for 10 to 30 years.
Yes, say the same for legal immigrants.
Yes, absolutely. They came here, like the Somalians, they came here under a false presumption, right? But the African Americans didn't come here on a false presumption, right? They were brought here. right? They were brought here and then they were granted freedoms. Okay. They didn't choose to be here, right? But they are here and they are ingrained in the American ethos. There's no way there. Yes, they are. There's no.
I said so.
Yeah, there's no way to go about that. They are engraved in the American ethos.
Again, I could make the same argument for immigrants who have been here 50 years, 60 years, 100 years, who are not black. Could make the same thing. Like, so.
Yeah, sure. Italians, right?
Yeah, sure.
Well,
My people came here legally, though. I got docs.
Why not just send the ones that didn't come in legally, don't have a social security number, haven't signed up yet? You know, the recent ones, like the last 4 years or the last 5 years. You don't go way back to like 100 years. That's ridiculous.
I got no criminal record. I probably contributed to the system and paid taxes for decades. You know, I have a positive net worth. I'm not a drain on the system in any way. And I'm whiter than Bumpkin.
I doubt that. Okay.
In skin color? Yeah. I mean, I know you got it. You're holding it down. I'm just saying I'm that white.
Well,
my grandmother was French.
Oh, well, French aren't white. I'm just joking.
I'm talking about skin color because Italians aren't white either.
Northern Italians.
Yeah, that's fine.
Nah, I'm from the South.
Again,
I probably got more blood.
What I was trying to show here is that he's making an arbitrary standard, just like I am. He thinks that his is more realistic, but when you actually try and delve into the details of it, it's just as unrealistic as mine.
It's not,
but Muffin,
it is.
Can't we measure assimilation? Maybe that's where we should be focused.
Well, that's what I asked him. That was one of the first things I asked him, isn't it?
Like if you chill and you act like a European, so here's the thing: if you're a race
specifically
realist,
asked him that, didn't I?
I believe so. Yeah. So if we're a race realist, we don't need to tap dance around it, as Shenard would say. We know there's a clear difference between white people and everybody else. So if you act white, you belong here. If you don't act white, GTFO.
Sure.
Okay. Now, I'm half Italian, half German. And if I stay indoors, I'm white. If I go out in the sun, I get darker. So, should I stay indoors so I could keep my whiteness or what?
I think the question is, if you walk by a table and chairs outside of a little cafe, do you think to steal the table and chairs?
Jesus Christ, bro.
A better question is if you're at a store, right? You just got done shopping, okay? And you just unloaded all of your groceries into your car, all right? Do you leave the cart next to your car and drive away, or do you walk it back to the actual place to put the carts and you load it up properly and then go to your car?
That depends on the weather.
It also depends on the society. So if I'm in a place where everybody else is doing it, absolutely. But if I'm in a place where no one else is doing it, I might think twice.
No matter where I'm at, I still do that. But that's just me.
So are you correlating whiteness with correctness? Like there used to be a saying, that's real white of you, man.
I'm saying that's the claim, isn't it?
Doing the right thing. You have to be white to do the right thing.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What?
Hold on. Guys. Time out. Just, everyone needs to stop for a second. Everyone, please.
Okay.
Upstate. Can you cam up, please, sir?
That's him. He's cool. I can hear him.
Upstate, can you please cam up? Hold on. Time out. I need to make sure I'm not getting AI or.
Put on my.
That's his voice.
Definitely my voice.
Put on my white hat.
That's.
I like how you are about porn bomb and shit, but that's the last thing I'd do.
Denizen, you vouch for this guy?
100%. He might piss you off, but he's not going to porn bomb you.
It's better to be pissed off than pissed on.
Upstate, do you mind being cammed up, or do you prefer being cammed? I mean,
It don't matter to me. I got my cam on right now, so
I can see that. I don't think. I mean, you're male. Does YouTube give a shit about men who don't have their shirts on YouTube? I don't think they do.
No, he screams on YouTube that way the whole show.
dude, we got our own show and we're always
Listen,
with
bro,
the shirts off.
I don't know how long you've been watching my show for. I mean, I got porn bombed once, and I've been paranoid ever since. So,
Hey
Oh,
man,
he will definitely not porn bomb you 100%.
no,
I'll cash up you $100 if he does,
I will
I'm
too.
gonna hold you to it too.
and I will keep to my word.
Hey man,
All
if
right,
I don't, will you cash out
Now,
me
yeah,
$100?
don't porn bomb him just to get him $100 now, okay?
No, listen, I don't want to get
do
porn
that
bombed
shit.
regardless. I just, I have to be very diligent because the porn bombers they're getting crafty these days.
I've
I'm not
known him
lying,
for
they're very crafty. Go ahead.
I known him for 3 years, and he's not going to porn bomb.
Please put on
Dennison,
a
this
shirt.
is the second time somebody's thought
Put
I was
on
going
a
to porn
shirt.
bomb.
Just put
You
on a
hold
shirt.
on a second though. 1 second. You are wearing pants, right, Upstate?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, then we're cool. We're fine.
You don't
Because he could
understand that. You don't have to show
accidentally
us.
porn bomb you.
Okay. Well. Okay. You didn't have to show us, but I appreciate you for verifying that. You are new to the show, Upstate. By all means, sir, please give us your take. We're getting into a very different conversation, but before we go too far down that rabbit hole, did you watch any of Trump's speech during the Michigan rally? And if you did, what are your thoughts on that?
I think that for number one, Trump 2024. I will vote for a fucking felon any day over the lesser of two evils, let's say. And him getting shot, that's I wouldn't wish that on anybody, dude. I don't care who you are. I'm a combat vet. Okay. I seen what it's like to shoot somebody and be shot at. So I wouldn't wish that on any fucking buddy. I mean,
Word.
True blatant disrespect for the people that's coming from the Democratic Party. Republicans are trying to fix that shit, and every corner they come across, bullshit hits. And for Dems to spread the shit like it's manure out on the fucking field, bull fucking shit. That ain't happening in my country. That ain't what I fucking fought for. You know, all these people coming up with these flags with all this shit on there, that isn't the American flag. Like,
yeah, bumpkin.
What's
For
up?
one,
I mean, the gold frame.
Wait, what do you call it? That blue line flag. That ain't my fucking flag, and dude, that's utter disrespect for everybody that is anybody that's an American. You know, and the border crisis is real. We have people right here in New York. I live in North Country, New York. I'm about 5 miles away from the Canadian border, so I hear from both sides: Trudeau this and Trudeau that, and Biden this and Biden that. Trump is probably going to save this country once again, and me and my co-host, or the host, I'm the co-host. He says the same thing. Very godly man, very respectful for everything country, and when it comes down to Biden, he even has a new beer out called it used formerly known as red beer. It is now Trump red beer. And God, I wish we could play this song. I have a song that we could play, but can't play it on YouTube. You have to go to Rumble to do it.
We're on Rumble, however, I am primarily streaming to YouTube, so that's not going to work. If I was
See, we do the
exclusively
same
streaming
thing.
through Rumble, yeah, if I was exclusively streaming through Rumble, it'd be fine. But
Yeah.
YouTube, I'd get caught on. So
Well, yeah, it's saying okay. I see. Okay, Rumble is a Canadian company. They have Canadian values, which I totally agree with. Freedom of speech, freedom of this, freedom of that. Let them do it. You know, that's how they figure. YouTube has gone downhill, man. I've been on YouTube. Dennison's known me for fucking ever, and I'll tell you what. I've seen YouTube go from pretty all right to god damn, what the fuck are they thinking? You know? And Rumble just lets you get away with everything. We initiate people with a nudie music video. It's just
don't do that here. Please don't do that here.
no
Don't do that here.
no.
Please.
Por favor.
Yes, por favor. We smoke weed. YouTube don't care. You know, as long as you're not saying a bunch of shit about it, like, oh, this is blah 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 and it's fucking me up. No, you can't say that. But you could sit there and smoke on camera. I'm very I'm an advocate for medical marijuana. Up here in New York, it's totally legal. I have plants up in my front yard right now growing, and they're Durban poison. They're awesome, and if you could see them, you'd be amazed if you're a connoisseur. But I just went out to Oklahoma to visit Devo, and we did a thing for I don't know if you guys know him, but I'd like to introduce you to some music that you guys can listen to if you are up for it. Later, not now.
Only if it's thanks for coming through, Bumpkin. Hopefully you can come back. Only if it is YouTube appropriate. If it's not, and I'm gonna get
Yeah,
copyrighted,
it is. It is.
Then are you sure it is?
Yeah,
he's copyright strike.
Yeah, no, you ain't gonna get no copyright
How do you know?
because we play it all the time. I know the guy personally. Muggs Money is the guy's name. You can look him
Muggs
up
is
on
cool.
Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Rumble.
Muggs encourages people to spread his music.
Yeah, and he does it for him. If you don't like it, fuck you. He likes it, you know.
Do you have a clip we can play? Do you have it already
Shit, I have
formatted
many
so we can
clips
play it?
that you can play. You want me to start out with my intro, the intro for the page?
If you can drop a link in the back, then I'll be able to play it.
I will do that.
Yeah, drop a link in the back. That way I can be able to play it. While you're doing that, Noel, thank you for waiting patiently. I know you haven't had much chance to talk. Is Noel awake? I think Noel might be asleep. All right, Noel. If she's asleep, I will let her be. In that case, there she is. She's awake. Noel, would you like to speak on any of the topics we're talking about today? I don't want to.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
That guy shouldn't have been. That guy shouldn't have been on the roof. That guy should have been really killed before this happened. So stupid of the cops doing that before they know he was on the roof. Oh my God, these people.
It's like a cow being on the roof and nobody noticing.
These cops should have killed him before.
Way before.
Well, let's not talk about it like that. Let's not say it like that on YouTube. But go ahead.
Let's say took him out.
These cops these cops should have and since he shouldn't have shot the president.
So
If they
He's
would
Shouldn't
have
have came
shot him,
anywhere
fucked up
close
in
to it.
his mind. He's fucked up
yeah,
in his mind.
but if they would have shot him before,
Stupid.
then Trump wouldn't have that great war
Yeah.
wound, and it
Yeah, it's
would,
true.
he
And he would have
got a more.
lost.
And then
Oh, he's a boss now.
and then people then people didn't then people going around on YouTube saying, "Oh, Trump got shot." If he didn't get shot, then it will be not like that. Thank you.
He'd
They
lose.
should have shot him before, and I'm pissed off about that
No,
story.
if they would have shot him before, then he couldn't go around and show his war wound and be the hero.
Yeah.
He had to have that.
I have a question.
Yeah, let's Calvin have a chance to speak. Thank you so much for your take, Noel. Calvin hasn't had a chance to speak. He's been waiting very patiently. Actually, been very quiet. Calvin, you have the floor. Go ahead.
I have a quick question. I recently was introduced a commercial or ad, a promo from Marjorie Green, where she's taking she's did a commercial about the Democrats and Socialists. She had a gun and she fired at the vehicle. Has anyone seen that?
Oh, when she fell down?
No, the ad where she has a gun and so it's a political ad where she's using the gun to show her disdain for the Democrats and socialists and socialism and things of that nature, and she shoots the vehicle with socialism in it. No one's seen that? Know about it? I can get the link if you. I can get the link.
I'm
So
sorry,
no
what's
one's
the
seen it.
ad? One more time?
If you could Google Marjorie Green, YouTube Marjorie Green ad shooting gun or whatever, it'll come. Marjorie Taylor Green, a shooting gun ad. How did I get it last time? I forgot the name of it. Have you seen it already?
I think I found it on the Young Turks.
Yeah, it's there, but it's like embedded in. Yeah,
Yeah.
So yeah, I find that ironic that we're having a conversation about what happened to Trump, and you have someone from your side actually doing a political ad with a gun, aiming it at what seems to be her opposing party. So I was just curious, what are your guys' take on that? If you have someone on the right as famous as Marjorie Green doing something as antagonizing or representing what happened to Trump, how do you reconcile that?
Well, the ad I've seen her with right now, she's got a 50 caliber that she wants to give away, but she hasn't actually shot anything yet. And it seems like she's talking about the fact of the Afghanistan withdrawal and how much
Maybe it's that's not. I can find
yeah. Okay, she's shooting a Prius that says socialism. What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that?
Yes. Do you want socialism, sir?
Oh no, we don't want socialism. I think if we're talking about guns, because before Biden couldn't even say the word. What's the word that he used? And the folk and get them in focus or whatever. Previously, just a week ago, that was bad rhetoric. Here we have someone actually having a gun, pointing a gun,
And shooting a car.
Exactly. Don't we think that's
and shooting a car?
And
not the same as shooting a person? I didn't think I needed to say that.
And so was and Biden's thing was not the same as shooting a person as well. So you just
What are you talking about? Are you talking about the whole when he says like put Trump in the bullseye or whatever?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I don't think anything of that, and I think it's just as I think that I think the pearl clutching from the right is just as stupid as people from the left.
Okay, so here's where I probably disagree with you at. I do think Biden's statements is probably definitely less threatening than you having someone that's in Congress having a gun and using a gun as a method to demonstrate their disdain for the opposing party. I think that's totally
So are you saying that all the Democrats are socialists?
hear me out. Hear me
No, no,
out.
it's a very
No, no,
simple
no,
yes or no. No,
no.
no,
I'm
it's a
not saying
very simple yes or no.
no. I'm not
That
saying all the Democrats are socialists.
Okay, so the car that was in that ad, it said socialism. So
Okay.
she wants to destroy. There was nobody's face. There was no human beings. So obviously, she's talking about destroying the ideology of socialism, and that's very easy to pick up from what I just saw. And I listened. I saw it with no sound.
Okay, so let me get this as far as you're concerned. So if I get something that's kind of representative of the right and we put it a target and we have everyone shooting at it, that's fine with you. I just want to understand where we're at in this.
If a Democrat was to put fascism or authoritarianism on a car and shoot the car and it blows up the car that says authoritarianism or fascism, I wouldn't care.
Okay, so this according to you, this is appropriate and acceptable behavior.
Yes, because they're talking
Okay,
about destroying an ideology,
okay,
not a specific person. There's
okay,
not a direct call to action to take out somebody.
okay. So saith you. I understand. That's
No, so saith the laws, sir.
no. So saith you because
No, so saith the law.
I
so
Do you
wish
know?
I
Do you
was
know how?
there at the
Do you
Trump
know?
rally.
huh?
Thank you, Noel. For
I wish I was there. I wish I was there at the Trump rally, and I wish I can kill that guy, that 20-year-old
please
guy,
be
and
very
then I
careful
will
with
be a
your
hero.
words, Noel. Noel, please
You
be careful
probably
with your
want
words
to
for
say
Jay
delete.
Rillo.
Yeah, delete. You probably want to use the word delete or unalive is what is usually acceptable. So the person in the red hat, I don't know your name or whatever. What is your thoughts about usage of guns and political ads as representing targeting your the opposing party? What is your take on that? Or you need to see the video.
When I was growing up, they when in the 60s, 70s, 80s, they didn't have guns in political ads. That's crazy.
And I think that's what I would tend to agree with you. Using guns in political ads is probably definitely not the best thing, especially consider what happened last week. So I think
But
you
So that ad, hang on. So that ad is from 2 years ago. This is not some new ad.
and your point would be
oh, it's from how long ago?
It's from 2 years ago.
and
Well,
your
I'm talking
Okay,
the
because here's the
60s,
thing: is
70s,
was it
80s.
Calvin?
yes,
Calvin, okay. So the statement that you just made, you literally just said to Rocky there, you know, I really don't, I don't like it, and I really don't like it considering what just happened last week. So you in your words here are making the comparison like this ad just came out here recently. So that's why I made sure to correct the record that ad is 2 years old. It has nothing to do with this. It has nothing to do with
correct.
targeting Democrats
Okay,
or any of these politicians.
oh
So
no, okay.
you're straw manning this and making it a
No,
non
no, no, no,
sequitur
no, no,
all
no,
at the
no,
same time.
no. I think
2 years
I
is
think it's
recent.
okay.
2 years is recent, you dumb fucker. 2 years
This
is
guy up in
recent.
the top right's going, oh my God.
Is
Look.
2 years the same as within a week of the president getting shot at? Rocky, you're not that retarded.
They've been using gun shit in the last maybe 4 years or something where we're gonna shoot Trump and shit. And like in Hollywood, the actors coming out and they having these things. They didn't used to do that when I was I'm talking the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000. That is recent, as in like the last 8 years when Trump was they're going to use guns now and we're going to kill our political opponent.
Okay,
That's
so Rocky, what do you think happens in this ad? What do you think this ad is that we're talking about?
I heard
That's
what
what I'm
you said.
getting at. What, play that
Huh?
ad.
You heard what I said. So describe it for me, sir. Strawman my position.
You said
What
that
was the
someone
ad?
was shooting at a car that had socialism on it.
Right.
Socialism.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone used a gun in an ad shooting at socialism. So you're comparing that to Trump getting like his staged when he staged the event, got his ear shot
Experience some socialism. Go down to
It's all
Venezuela.
political theater, man. You grow up.
So no. Calvin is the one here trying to make this comparison about Republicans using a gun in an ad to shoot a car that says socialism, and they're trying to equate it to the same as shooting Democrats. And I'm showing that is complete nonsense. And then he's trying to equate this to like, isn't this a terrible ad to put out? And especially around the time that Trump got shot, this ad is 2 years old. It's not the same it's not like this ad was just put out this week or last week when Trump got shot. Like, it's not what we're talking about.
So
that kind of puts it in the same light as the Simpsons, man. The Simpsons have predicted almost everything before it even happened.
Predictive programming. It's all programmed, guys.
Come on now.
You're on one program or you're on the other program. You don't realize they're both programs. You think one program is better than the other program, but you're all being programmed. Get it? Trump just had a program. He was on stage, the political theater, and he got his ear shut off. Some Christians think it's the deadly head wound that comes up from the, he comes up with the deadly head wound, and they think, he's Trump the Antichrist. And then other people think God saved him, and then other people church say, God saved Trump from the bullet. And you guys are all falling for it like it's real, and you don't realize it's all political theater. Auto hoax. It's like a